Oh boy, we are in
Hey,
trouble.
how are we all doing?
Wow.
We're in trouble
What's up, everybody?
now. It's another Saturday. We're here with Fire and Dice. Are you guys ready for some
Yo.
Dungeons and Dragons?
I am
I
ready
am.
to
Totally.
dungeon some dragons, my friends.
And
I'm ready.
me
My
too.
body is
I,
ready.
So
I love this.
really quick. Shout out to our non-official sponsor, but I totally want them to sponsor us. If you can see it, Sour Strips. These things are amazing. I'm seeing them all over the internet. I want them to.
They're invisible.
Yeah, see, they're just.
Yeah.
I devour them so quickly because they're so good. Sour Strips. This is the tropical mango. It's amazing.
Pure void.
Where do I get those?
The internet.
The internet? Okay.
I ordered them off the internet. It was like a
You
12
have to
pack.
put them in front of your face, dude.
Sorry. Are they?
A 12 pack for like $30, and there's so many of them. Like it's just, they're delicious.
Can you
they-
describe them?
Imagine someone took Rips, like, which are already great because it's the tiny little like licorice stretch thing, but they matched it with the consistency of almost like sour gummy worms, but not as. It's hard. The flavors are amazing. It's phenomenal. I love them.
What kind of flavors are they?
I've had pink lemonade so far, blue raspberry, tropical mango, rainbow, strawberry. There's so many, but I don't want to go on a huge tangent about it. But Sour Strips, hit me up.
Are they marketed by Long Man? Cause I don't know if I can eat them otherwise. Do you guys know what I'm talking about?
No.
There's a just go Google YouTube it. It's Long Man. It's like this. It's a Chinese. I don't know. It's a Korean, Chinese, Japanese. I feel bad. I don't know. I don't speak the language, but they have. It's like a sour sweet strip gummy. And it's just about like this guy and this girl, and he's like their boyfriend and girlfriend. But then there's always this other like more attractive guy who's always eating a longer like taffy strip
Ah.
than
Oh, I
him.
think I know what
And-
you're talking about.
yeah, and so like every time he shows up, it's just like long man, and the girlfriend always like looks over and she's like, "It's so long."
Oh
anyway,
my god, I
a whole, like,
remember.
there's a whole compilation, and it's a journey. You should watch the whole compilation. It's pretty good. Anyways, that's the reference I'm making.
Perfect.
Cool. So now that we've got all of our taffy cravings out of the way, let's
taffy.
what happened last time on Fire and Dice? I was there, but I'd like to hear it from you guys.
What didn't happen?
We arrived at Valentis, the capital of Valencia.
Finally.
We did it.
It was a harrowing journey.
Yeah. Yeah. So we did the thing. We got there, and we told the guard at the front, whose name was Captain Lucas, and we were like, we got a note here saying it looks pretty official that somebody's gonna kill the king, and he was like, oh, this is serious. We'll get on it right away. And then he proceeded to just like fuck off and like,
Perfect reenactment. Oh,
Yeah.
this is serious.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what happened. So he was just like, we'll put this right on top of the pile of important things. It's a trash can.
Hey, did you not catch though? He passed it all the way up. Like when you guys, spoiler alert, got to the meeting, it was on the docket because you guys had reported it.
Well, I wasn't.
Yeah.
Listen.
That's not urgent enough.
Okay. All right, all
The
right.
king was stabbed like 4 seconds later.
Yeah, so wasn't urgent enough. Yeah, so anyways, we stole some armor from the guards armory because we're like,
Which was a very bold idea.
oh my
loved
god, it
it.
wasn't my idea, but I was the one who stole it. So we were able to disguise ourselves, and it didn't work anyway. They still didn't like believe that we were one of them. I don't know why we did that. And then, yeah, we were able to get in. We met up with, what was his name? Kurdu or something?
Ambrose Cradu.
Ambrose
That's his
Purdue.
And he was like, "Oh, they're with me. They're important." And they were like, "All right." So then they let us into the king, and then King's like, "All right, well, we're in a meeting right now, but we'll be right with you." So we were able to just stay there during the meeting. And meanwhile, we're like, something's gonna happen, something's gonna go down, something's gonna happen, something's gonna go down. And then meeting adjourned, and he's like, "All right, well, I'm not dead yet, so I feel pretty safe. We'll talk about this tomorrow." And then one of the guards was like, "Ha ha, changed person wore off. I'm not really a guard." Ha! And stabbed the king. And it was the stag guy that we were looking for.
And it was the biggest "I told you so" in history. Because I had told the king, I had made sure to ask the king, like, "Nah, I don't think so."
Yeah, and he's like, I've been around these guys my whole life or whatever. Like, they're the great. And then to quote Shakespeare, Randall Stacks goes, "What, you egg?" and then stabs him.
Yeah.
And then we're like, yeah, a fight ensued because the rest of the guards in the room were like with him, the bad guy.
Oh, she just.
And so
Oh,
they're
you
like,
you lagged out there
"You're
for a
trapped in here
second.
with us," and they're like, "No, you're trapped in here with us." And then
Yeah,
Then we
and
killed
I
them,
I
and
was
that's
like
where we
like
left our
pulling
session.
pulling
We
the
did
king
save the
off to
king,
the
though.
side.
Greg healing worded our king, and so he's alive. But we
No,
ended
I
our session
did
before
it.
we could actually. Was it you?
I did
Yeah,
it.
Greg healed you.
Yeah.
You did. I thought he
Yeah,
healed.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
But Greg would have done it. Greg would have done it, but his initiative wasn't as
that's right.
It was, I believe, one.
So Blixa cure wounds him,
Yeah.
and
'Cause-
before we could talk to him, or even open up the room again, that's where we left our session.
Okay, so that's where we're gonna pick it up, right there. The King Darius, has he's bleeding, right? Like, you guys have mended his wounds, but he's still very hurt. There's some internal injuries that still need to be dealt with.
Can I reach out an arm to help him up off the floor?
He's like, yeah,
And then
yeah. He takes your arm.
as soon as he grabs my arm, I'm gonna pump 5, lay on hands to cure any poisons that might be within his system. Not sure if these shadowy types are using poison blades, but just in case. And then another 5 to heal him up a little bit more.
Awesome. So you don't detect any poisons,
Okay.
actually. Which I know is surprising, right? Like, why? I mean, assassins
So-
use poisons. There was assassin. Why did it not go down?
Does
But,
that mean it's wasted, or can I use that to further heal him up?
I was gonna
Okay.
give you the option. Do you want to either? I was just gonna give him the full 10 hit points.
Okay, perfect.
If that's all right. Great. You see him visibly recover. He's like, wow. Thank you all very much. I honestly don't know what to say. You are heroes of the kingdom and my heroes. I would love to discuss this further with you, but right now I need my rest. But I would like to invite you to dinner with me tomorrow at 6 p.m. here in the castle in this room. If you would please, would you join me then? I have a matter that I would like to discuss with you.
Yes.
There you-
Who's taking you to your bedroom?
Yeah, are you going to
Um,
be safe until then?
We don't know how many other guards are being hired out by the Black Hand.
Please, would you please escort me to Ambrose? From there, I know I will be in good hands. Ambrose is one of the people that I trust most in the kingdom. And so the door is still jammed shut. It's still barred closed. So he starts walking over the door now, feeling better. Since you've given him kind of that like he's not tip top yet, but he's feeling a lot better than he was. He was on death's door to healthy or to alive, and now he's recovering. So he goes up to the door, unbars it himself, pulls out the spear that they had put in there, and opens the door. You can see there were the rest of the guards were trying to get into the throne room, but they were locked out. So they were getting ready to start jamming down the door. Had the combat gone on for a little bit longer. Awesome. He is wonderful. And you do see Ambrose there. He says, Ambrose, would you please escort me to my room? I have a few additional matters that I would like to discuss concerning these most recent events. And please make sure that our new friends are taken care of. He's like, absolutely. If you could wait right here, I will be right back. So he escorts the king to his chambers, and then did you guys want to do anything while he was gone, or just wait for him to return?
Seeing that I'm worse for wear and kind of using my glaive to kind of hold me up, I'm going to pump the other 15 land hands, and try to mend my wounds as we have a moment to take a breath.
Awesome. And how many hit points are you at now?
So I was at 14 and now I'm at 29. So just barely not bloodied.
Yeah, I was saying, what's your max?
53, which surprisingly enough, I don't know if you can see it, but that's the amount of HP that I have on my dad t-shirt. Isn't that amazing?
That is.
I am bloodied, so.
I would like to use some of my spell slots to cure wounds on people.
To cure wounds on people. Okay. Go ahead.
I mean, it's like nighttime at this point, right?
Yeah. It's nighttime. It's like 8 o'clock in the evening.
I mean, do we think we're okay? Like, for long rest, or?
I mean,
right now, so if you guys want to go do that, Ambrose, he's only going to be gone 5 minutes, and then he's going to come back and talk to you guys real quick. But yeah, after that, if you guys, it would probably behoove you to take a rest at some point. Mm-hmm. Is there anything you want to do kind of in that 5-minute period before Ambrose comes back?
Oh, can we rifle through their dead bodies, see if they have
yes.
any information or
money?
Yeah, absolutely.
or for my little rogue friend, some things.
Every time I hear a rogue, I just think of the there's that scene from Rick and Morty where the government of the insect people are falling down, and it's like, oh, I'll do that for money.
For money. I know. See, I love playing rogues, but I like playing your non-stereotypical rogue, right? I don't like being I'm gonna pickpocket everything. I just like being good at noticing threats and being really dodgy, like a dodgy,
dodgy
DPS.
boy.
The dodgy DPS. That's what I like being.
I've never been a rogue, so it's really nice being a stereotypical rogue.
Oh,
and you're literally the subclass that's meant to steal.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, and I'm not. I don't even really steal. For me, most of the money in my pocket is not going to stay in my pocket. But you guys don't know that because we haven't had a RP.
Yeah, it's gonna leave my pocket as I buy things.
You guys probably think I'm super selfish, that's sure that's what you want.
Well, we'll have to continue with that impression until we learn otherwise. So yeah, you guys are able to loot the bodies. They do have some gold on them, just enough to really fit their disguises. They have roll. Each of you roll a d12 and multiply that by 10. That's how many gold pieces you get.
Wow, 10 times 10.
12, eh?
I rolled a 12. 120 gold, baby.
There you go. Oh my gosh, that's a lot.
Hey.
So you put a D10?
Yeah.
12. Wait.
Oh, D12?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
d12. just for funsies. You don't get to use a D12 for a lot unless you're at a barbarian or fighter swinging like a great axe. So it's fun. To
I
just,
love
like,
D12. I love the shape of it.
I like to roll it whenever I can.
Thank
Satisfying
you.
die. I'm here for
It
it.
is.
Thank you.
Pretty good. What is it? Is it a duodecahedron? Dodecahedron? I think it's dodecahedron, right? And the duo is the 20. Is it 20-sided die?
And that was 10
I'm not
gold
proper.
per.
Oh man, I don't know.
Yeah. So take that number and multiply it by 10, and that's how many gold pieces you find on their bodies.
I found 120 gold pieces.
Wow.
Wow.
Same.
These guys were pretty loaded. Good for you.
Loaded.
They are actually wearing the three guards that you thought that were in the armor, that were dressed like royal guards. That is actually royal guard armor. So it is plate mail. They were also using royal guard shields and swords, long swords. So if any of you wanted to use those, you could probably you can pick those up. You might have to talk to, since it is like the uniform of the royal guard. You might it might be frowned upon to wear it or take it. So you'd probably have to like sneak that away or ask for permission. And then but on Randall Stagg, you see he actually wears light armor. And so his you were able to notice that when his face appeared over the shoulder of King Darius and he stabbed him through the back with his dagger, that in that moment when his disguise self turned off, he was wearing it looked like he was wearing plate mail armor, that royal guard armor, but then it shifted, and you could tell that it was just an illusion.
Nasir says, "What sorcery is this?" Well, Nolan's like, "Oh my god, that's glamour studded leather."
Yeah,
Maybe,
in fact it
possibly.
is.
Okay.
Yeah, no. So you're able to detect that there is some magical effect on Randall Stagg's armor that allows it. So it is glamour studded armor. It can take on whatever aesthetic that you want. So there's that, and then also his dagger. This is the same ebony stiletto that marked with the symbol of the black hand on it that he ran through Silhouette's heart when he first killed you guys back in session 2.
Session 1, dude.
Session 1. Well, you guys died to his displacer beast.
Maimed. I like maimed.
Maimed. A maiming doesn't require resurrection. So when you died, so yeah, so you find his dagger and the glamour studded armor. If anybody who wants to take that, if anybody.
Nobody wants it. I want it.
I mean, that sounds like
Can we
it's
roll
built
for it?
a
Can we, like-
rogue, but we could fight over it, I guess.
We can roll for it.
Roll initiative to see who
I'm
who
gonna
gets
do
to it
great at
fastest.
this. Who yoinks it the hardest? It's not looking good for me, gang.
15.
It wasn't me.
14.
I mean, you could always ask, and you could always barter, trade, steal, all that. It's a discussion. You guys just find out betray. I mean,
What, it was-
all options.
It was an initiative test?
Yeah.
At
Yeah,
first, I was like,
this is just to see who snags it first.
Oh, not, but you don't add your initiative, right? Just the straight roll?
No, you add your initiative.
Oh. That's 18, not 14.
oh, I got an 18 as well.
Roll off.
I got a 3.
And Riz, what did you get?
Oh, I got a 15.
15.
So
Okay,
between-
so
Between the
yeah.
siblings.
between the siblings,
I-
why don't you?
I
Now,
was
this one's
basically
gonna be a flat roll. This one's gonna be a flat roll since you guys rolled even.
a 14.
Okay.
What was yours, Izzy?
A 3.
A 3.
I was
Nolan.
basically just doffing it off the dude, and then I was like, "Who wants this?" And then I see Blix is right next to me, like, "Oh, you're here."
How's he give it to
I get
Blixa?
it.
Does that is, I mean, s-
No, is that what you want to do? Is that you want to give it to Blixa?
Well, Blixa was right next to me. Is how I'm seeing it. Like I was taking it off his body. Like, okay, cool. We'll get this prepared. We'll clean it off, and then like I look behind me. Blixa's there. Then Zilla is kind of a little way behind her, and then Greg's all the way at the other side of the room. You have to save me. So I'll pass it to Blixa and say, you figure that out amongst yourselves.
I'll keep it.
Yay!
Okay, so you're taking the armor. There's also the dagger. Does anybody want the dagger?
Can I have it?
Zilla has a collection of daggers, so I would assume like she's already got the dagger that talks to her.
Everybody has a hobby.
Yeah.
Maybe
And the
this
thief
dagger
is
will talk to
collecting everything.
This dagger allows me to read read Nasir's mind. Is that weird? Part of his soul's in there somewhere.
Yeah. So anyone who has touched the dagger knows that it does contain some magical properties of some kind, but you'll need to either inspect it or attune to it to learn more about it.
So am I keeping that or?
It has Silhouette's soul stuck in it.
Poor Silhouette. I wonder what the priestess of Galena did with him.
He's flying through the multiverse like reading Rainbow, just at the start.
I like that.
Silhouette in the sky.
Okay, I need to know if I'm adding it to my inventory. Am I keeping it or is that somebody else's?
Does anybody else want the dagger? Feel free to say yes, so we can roll off or talk. You guys can talk amongst yourselves.
Not
No,
really my style, man.
Blixa is now sitting on the floor, like taking off the armor that they had on, and like getting ready to put this new one on.
Okay, it
So
is yours.
I don't even know the dagger.
All right, I pick up the dagger. Like, anybody want this? No, great. I don't get like a chance to like say anything. It's ebony, right?
Yeah. So it's did I say ebony?
I think so.
Obsidian, right?
Obsidian. It's
Obsidian?
in the- yeah.
Oh,
the
obsidian,
The
okay.
obsidian stiletto of the Black Hand.
Got it. I'm gonna add it later.
Formerly Randall Staggs. All right. So after that, Ambrose Credu comes back into the room and greets you. Like, I'm so grateful that you guys were all here. It seems that your warnings. We never doubted you, but we already had the castle on high alert. We didn't think that there was anything more we could do. But I'm very glad that you were here. And with that, I presume you already have rooms here in the city, but you are welcome to stay with me at my estate if you would like. I do have some guest rooms, and I do have a couple of matters that I'd like to discuss with you, including you sent me a package. So if you would like to collect your package, I would like if you'd at least stop by. And you're welcome to stay the night if you would. Would you like to come home with me?
Is it
You're gonna have to buy me dinner first.
our friend Greg here likes tea? Some hot tea, maybe?
I do love
A hot toddy?
living in the hot,
Love a hot
living the
toddy.
high life. So
That's
I
not even
would
Greg,
love to
that's
take you up on that offer. However, we did. How many how many days did we pay for? Did we pay for like 4 days?
It's like a couple gold.
Oh, okay. I thought it was like. I thought you like put down a bunch of gold.
No, I paid. It was 2 gold for each room, and I put 8 down, 8 gold. So it was only for one night
Oh,
anyway.
okay. Oh, okay. Then we're good.
Yeah.
Then yes.
Okay, so wonderful. Then please follow me. And he takes you out of the castle the same way you guys came up, down that long path down. As you'll remember, the castle is set up on top of a mountain, so you have to kind of take a mountain path. It's been paved, but it is a very long road.
The switchback.
Yeah, like switchback, it's wide enough you could take carriages and stuff up there, but it's a long road. But you get back down into the city, and then he lives in kind of in the Noble district, which is a little bit just on the north side of town. at the base of the castle. So he leads you to his place. He's got a really large estate there with manicured gardens. And you can, I mean, he's definitely a member of the upper class. It has several stories. Just a small kind of mansion, really. A small mansion. He takes you in through the double doors, introduces you to his butlers and the waiting staff. He asks them to prepare the sitting room, and then to prepare the guest rooms. As he takes you into the sitting room, and then offers you a beverage of your choice. What would you like?
Water for me, thank you.
Yeah, just some water.
Water would be. Greg will have tea. I'll have tea. Greg did not just refer to himself in the third person, David. I'll have a cup of your finest sleepy time tea, man.
Sleep time, a classic. And he nods to his butler, and the butler nods back. And then just a couple minutes later, the drinks arrive. And he says, "Well," and then also somebody brings in your package, and hands it to him, and then he hands it to you. Says, "All right, this is the package that arrived for you." I'm quite. He said, I mean, I opened it since it was addressed to me. I didn't know what it was, especially times being what they are. But it's a saddle and a backpack at the same time.
Yes, my friend here is a shapeshifter of sorts.
Of sorts, man.
Ooh. What? He's like, "Are you a druid by any chance, then?"
I am indeed.
And what level of spells are you capable of casting? Myself being a sage from Archsage University, I've studied the magical arts, and while I prefer the arcane, I'm very interested in how all of the schools of magic work.
I can cast up to a 3rd level spell.
Wow. That is pretty good.
It's not bad. I'm pretty fresh along in my journey. You know, a lot of it is instinct.
As I've heard, the druids do tend to harness their connection with nature, right? What does that feel like?
It tingles at times. It feels like a cool breeze that flows through you. But the breeze tingles with almost electricity. It's quite lovely to be in flow with, man. And he takes a little leaf out of his hat, or out of his hair, and pops it in his pipe and
And he's like, "Please." And then he brings a light for you. And the butler lights your pipe. Or how are you?
That.
Is it a pipe? How are you smoking it?
Yeah, it's a pipe. I mean, I could kind of just druid craft and it would start smoking, wouldn't it?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
hey, the butler's there at the ready, but you don't need him. You're like, "I got this. Let me show off some."
It's like a self-lighting. It's basically like a self-lighting pipe.
Oh, that's awesome. He's
you
like,
know,
"Ooh,
for
what a
convenience sake."
What a splendid demonstration. I shall have one as well." And then he materializes one using prestidigitation.
I pull him a piece of flour out of my hair and hand it to him.
Like, "Why, thank you very much." And he gives it a sniff. What does this flower have any special effects? What kind of flower is it?
I don't know. I just like the taste of it.
Well, I'm
Just
excited
tastes
to try
nice.
it. And so he smokes with you, and continues to kind of chit chat a little bit. Studying the arcane, I use my intellect to access the weave. I'm just fascinated. Thank you for sharing your experience. I'm fascinated with how we all access the magic power that really binds this universe together. I'm very fascinated with the weave itself and how it manifests our reality. So I have my perspective on magic, but I feel that by gathering other perspectives, I'm able to have a more complete picture. But
Yeah, it's like when we clear our mind, man, we allow ourselves to become the vessel for the magic which already pervades all and ever penetrating field around us. You know what I mean, man? So to just empty out the mind and allow the magic to flow through as a conduit. Would we have the word conduit back then?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. At least for my people, that is how we have always accessed magic, as whistles in the wind.
Wow. See, and this is what I find fascinating is that clearing my mind would help me very little in harnessing the arcane because I use my intellect. It's like I have to force myself through rigor and study to really find the weave and learn the rules that govern it and make sure that I am adhering to those rules specifically. It's a very intellectually draining process. Obviously, it gets easier the more practice you get. But I would love to be able to just access the weave by clearing my mind instead. That's a wonderful, beautiful experience. Thank you.
Visualize it, and it shall be so.
He's like, are there any other spellcasters here? Anybody? Any other perspectives that you'd like to share on how you access the weave?
I think I'm the only one here who doesn't have an experience with such things.
There's your training is in another regard.
Yes, I have no access to magic, so I access other skills, and I get by. It's fine. It's great.
There's nothing to be ashamed of in the study of the martial techniques, and I say this. I use this word with the utmost respect, and but the mundane, as in the non-magical, the mundane pursuits are just as worthy. But I didn't just gather you here to chit chat. But I noticed that we have a common friend in Enoch, correct? Master Half Elf.
You don't have to keep up the formalities. I am no master, but yes, Enoch and I are very close.
Yes, go ahead.
Who?
Listen, and you will learn.
Okay.
In the most modest way, not a snarky way.
Enoch and I travel in similar circles, and we've been friends for quite a while. I have a gift for you, and like it. You may not know what it is now, but I presume it will be useful to you later. And he hands you like a cloth, like he hands you an object wrapped in a cloth. And you can feel it's weighted. It fits in the palm of your hand. Do you open it?
Yeah, sure. I'll slowly unveil it and try to get an idea of what it is.
Yeah, as you open it, you look. Ambrose is looking expectantly as well, hoping that you'll receive his gift. And as you open it, you see it's a small medallion, but it's carved out of wood, and it is you've actually seen this symbol before on Enoch. And because he wears it on a necklace, on like a leather bound necklace around his neck, and it looks like an O, like the letter O, with like the letter A inside of it, but it's missing like the little
The dash part.
Yeah, the little dash part.
So it's basically the symbol of the vault from Borderlands.
Yeah, it's an upside down symbol of the vault. Yeah, wait, because the vault looks like a V, right? So it looks like an A, kind of, but not curvy.
Yeah.
He's like,
It's a teepee. I don't know if you.
he's like, please give this to Enoch. and let him know that it is that Ambrose Curdew welcomes Nasir.
I will.
Wonderful. With that, I feel free to call on me if ever you need, if ever you are in town. I am a trusted advisor to King Darius, and I oversee our intelligence operations and just serve as a personal advisor to the king. One of his counselors, and I'm there by special request on the High Council. So please, if you need anything, or if you have need of information, or if you come across anything interesting, I would love to hear of it, and would love to make myself of value and useful to you as well. And you see once again, you guys noticed last time, or he's also wearing like a symbol on on a necklace that he has that looks like the letter V with an I bracketed by the V.
Okay.
So have you, in your travels, have you come across anything interesting or anything of note that you think it would be useful for the king or the kingdom to know?
Southwatch is under attack. I'm not sure if that information's gotten to you.
We have heard some small reports, but Lord Dougherty assured us that he had it under control. Do you have reason to believe otherwise?
I don't trust him. That's just my instinct, and you see where that has led us before.
Interesting, he says. Noted. Well, I will make an inquiry into Southwatch and reach out to the captain there myself to see if we can what kind of arrangements can we make. You say it's under attack. Do they have proper reinforcements?
They were expecting reinforcements from Valentis a while ago, and it never got to them, and maybe it was stopped by Lord Dougherty. I'm sorry, I'm still very winded from the fight earlier. My memory is fading.
No, absolutely. Go ahead.
A large warband attacked just a few days ago, and Greg and I were amongst just the few that defended it, and we were able to hold it off for as long as we could, but I believe they're going to come back in a greater number. And if Southwatch falls, then this whole war plan you have going on could have a huge hole in it.
Yeah, it would be very difficult to fight a war on multiple fronts. So the fact that we've left the South exposed is worthy news, and I thank you for bringing it to my attention.
Now, sorry to interrupt, but just a question.
Mm-hmm.
Does the king really want to go to war?
The king is not afraid of war, but he's done his best up until now to avoid it. He has been looking for a diplomatic solution, but should we go to war, we're confident in our ability and in our forces. I know, being a personal advisor to the king, I can assure you that the king is a good man and cares about his people. I've sat in many meetings with him, and I am happy to serve him. But this war feels different to me. It's not like the elves to attack us, at least so unprovoked. And we have sent numerous couriers and even a couple of ambassadors, but none of them have returned. So now that they are marching so close to Valentis, we don't have as many cities and stuff in the mountains of the Rocktooth. Like the western border is predominantly in the Rocktooth Mountains, so there aren't a lot of points of value between kind of in that western side, but which is why they've been able to advance so far. Now that they are at our gate, uh, I'm afraid conflict is unavoidable. I hope that answers your question, or is there anything else that I can clarify?
It just concerns me.
War
It's
concerns us all.
it's not so much that. Yeah, I always see war as the. It's just kings and diplomats playing a game of chess while the innocent are the ones that draw the blood. And I'm I'm not at my strength right now to volunteer for anything, but I think it warrants another chance to try our best for diplomacy.
I agree with you. And I believe the king would like to speak with you more on kind of different options tomorrow evening, which is why he's requested your attendance at dinner. I don't want to speak for him, but I think you have gained the king's trust, and I believe he has a special assignment in mind for you. So I don't venture to speak any more on the matter. I would like to let him speak for himself.
I understand.
I agree with you.
I do have
there's
one
much to be done.
question.
Yes.
Yesterday, at the end of the meeting, the king made an official declaration of war. Has that been processed yet, or do we still have time to possibly figure out a different route?
I mean, the declaration of war is official. It is required in order to kind of mobilize our troops. We've waited as long as we can, but that does not preclude a diplomatic resolution to the war. Should we find an alternative?
See, I'm curious to know what's going on with the elves. People don't just change overnight without a reason.
We too are curious, which is why we've waited so long. My intelligence has not been able to gather anything further. What I do know is just the history of kind of our people. I know that the elves, their empire used to stretch across this entire continent. But about 1,000 years ago, there was a great war, and in that war, they were pushed back, and they were left more divided. They've since kind of reconsolidated some of their strength and kept there, and they're now they're still the Empire of Zalara, and they're stationed several hundred miles to the west, in their capital. However, in the last 1,000 years, other territories and the Kingdom of Valentis, or the Kingdom of Valentia, we've been able to form in these lands that were formerly theirs. So my leading suspicion is that maybe that they would be trying to reclaim, or maybe that we have somehow offended them. However, it's not likely, because they've had 1,000 years to launch the war, and we've had peaceful relations with them, especially since we formed since the feudal wars, when we were just random nobles and lords and warlords among ourselves here. Yes, we would have been more ripe for conquering, but ever since we've been able to unify, we've actually had very pleasant relations with the elves. So it is odd that they would not at least give us a warning or let us know of their grievance before sending an army to attack. And the fact that we have not been able to establish communications with them troubles me greatly. But war can no longer be avoided, since they're attacking our capital. We would look weak if we allowed them to, if we just let them walk in.
Well, that sounds like a good time to end the evening.
Are there any other questions or anything else you wanted to report? If not, I agree with Mistress Thistletop, I believe is your name.
That is correct.
With Mistress Thistletop, that it looks like you are all in need of rest, and may you may adjourn to your evening. The evening is yours.
Thank you.
Thank you.
If you ever have need of me, or if you ever see someone with bearing this symbol out in the world, you can feel free to let them know that you are a friend of Ambrose Credu, and they will take care of you. Thank you very much, and have a good evening.
Thank you for your hospitality.
Thank you. I'll remember that.
And I'm just gonna shamble on over to bed.
Yeah, about time. It is definitely sleepy time.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to bed too.
We're all, I think, just ready to crash.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
first of all, and this is one thing that we talked about, and then I totally forgot to hold you accountable to it during last session. But everybody except for Nasir already had one level of exhaustion because you
Yep.
pushed through the night, and without a long rest. With that, so that means you should have had disadvantage on all those stealth checks that you made. But since those were ability checks, but at the same time, there was already a lot of tension, and the thing, I think we had the right outcomes. So, but yeah, so please remember, you all currently have one level of exhaustion. When you rest, when you take a long rest, it removes one level. However, as you all begin to relax and try, and rest and take your rest, you feel that uneasiness is still there. There's an anxiety that doesn't allow you to rest peacefully, and you can still feel the presence of that dark presence that you encountered in Enora's mansion when you fought the Shadow Demons. And so I need everybody to make a Constitution saving throw in order to try to relax and go to sleep. And if you have exhaustion, please make it with disadvantage. All right, no,
Yes.
sorry, is that a later saving throws are different?
Yeah,
Ability check,
right?
Yeah, sorry, this is a saving throw, not an ability check. So yeah, make a Constitution saving throw. No
19.
Okay.
19.
15.
21.
Nice.
19
Okay.
on the die.
Awesome. So as you sleep through the night, you reckon you all passed, but so you're able to take your long rest. You get all the benefits of a long rest, except for your exhaustion does not go away. You're not able to sleep peacefully enough. Like, you still feel tired, and you feel like had you not passed your check, had you not really focused on getting to sleep, that you might have become even more exhausted.
So we still have one level of exhaustion, but we get hit points back and stuff.
Yeah, so you get hit points, spell slots, everything back, but you still have one level of exhaustion.
That's a
And
problem.
do I have the level of exhaustion or no?
Since you passed the con saving throw, right? What was your
I had a 15, but I didn't have exhaustion because I was the one that rested during the trip.
Right. You still feel that dark presence, and you
Mhm.
feel like if you hadn't made that, then you would have gained a level of exhaustion.
Got it. Okay.
So it seems like while you're under this effect, you can't remove levels of exhaustion, and there's a chance that you will gain one.
Got it.
So
Very cool.
Well, not very cool, but yes.
Yeah,
It's
we
a
need
thing
to
that's
figure
hard.
out how to fix this because this is a problem.
And just to take a short little break. Bree Flower, thank you so much for the gifted sub to Briss Awesome. Briss Awesome is now subbed. And then
I didn't realize I
Hellcat
wasn't.
Hellcat Killer, thank you so much for subscribing at tier 1. You're amazing. And then Senevar, I see you. I see you. So thank you guys.
And Mr. Wilson TV. Wilson!
Wilson.
Well said.
And Cinnabar, thank you for mentioning you want a second camera person to maybe see our sheet and dice. We're working on getting ways to maybe see like at least have more kind of representations of our battles, so that it's not all theater of the mind. But we'll try to at least declare what our rules are, what we're rolling for, and what showed up on the dice. Maybe add our bonuses. Can we do that, team?
Side note though, if you look to our right, there should be a little overlay that comes out that shows all our HP. And actually, if you click on the character, you might be able to see our sheet.
Awesome. Is that? I know like the HP wasn't updating correctly for a while. Is that still an issue?
Let me see. Let me double check.
Because everybody took a long rest, so take your long rest.
Looks-
And let's see if the overlay updates.
Looks pretty good to me, but we'll see.
Okay. Awesome. And Cinnabar sees the sheets. Perfect. I know, right? D&D, man.
Wait, does it say on the overlay what our hit points are?
Yeah, it should.
So.
Oh, it's because I'm on mobile.
All right.
Is that
I'm going mobile.
well?
And let's
Okay.
see. It probably takes a few seconds to update. We'll see. Cool.
Yeah, we'll see. Let us know if it doesn't update, or how long, so we can figure out how long it takes, if it does.
Still
Okay,
wearing this god awful scale mail, and I don't know if I want to keep it just because there's metal on it. I mean, it's really gonna help me not be squishy, but kind of don't like the idea of it. Not gonna lie. I'm not sure what to do.
It's interesting. I
I'll
mean,
keep
so
it
yeah,
on
I mean,
so I
it is a
don't
class
die,
feature that, I mean, it is a taboo for druids to not want to wear metal.
Yeah. I mean, metal occurs in nature,
It does.
but
We didn't
Yeah.
level up, right? We're still level 5.
we're almost there. But
We're 924 away.
Oh, all right.
So, to answer your question, this is where I'm going to be a little hat off meta. I think that druids are already have so much that's a part of their kit that makes them tanky that the metal taboo is more of a balancing act from a gameplay perspective.
that's fair.
So
And-
Cool, then I'm gonna remove
I
it.
am going to enforce that as a rule just because
I love that. That's kind
yeah.
of what I set out to do with my character to begin with. Anyways, he really like has a major aversion to it, and he like wore it out of necessity because we were in costume. But like he is done with it. We just kind of haven't had a time to like sit down and doff really today.
No, absolutely. And so I think like in short-term things like that, it works great. But I think it might impose kind of penalties if you were to like try to permanently wear metal armor.
Cool. Well, on that shopping day, Greg wants to sell that armor. Then
Awesome. Well, speaking of shopping day, the
Can
day
you
is yours. So you guys wake up in the morning. The butlers are attending to you. You know, they have breakfast waiting for you. You know, Ambrose is off doing his job. He's got stuff that, you know, as counselor to the royal court. But the day is yours. You've got a day in Valentis. Your next kind of commitment is at 6 p.m. in the afternoon or in the evening to have dinner with the king. So before that, the time is yours. So what time are you all getting up in the morning?
6 in the morning. I don't know.
Sounds good. What yeah. So what do you guys want to do with your day?
Well, I'm gonna get you cool. Pull up to the front, and as everyone's walking out, I'm gonna be like, "Get on, losers! We're going shopping."
I love it. One thing. Sorry, another thing I wanted to mention. Nasir, ever since you guys have had this anxiety in your sleep, you've kind of noticed that Riom isn't around.
Oh,
You can't see him anymore. And Gruagok, your meditations, you've been like unable to meditate. You've been able to achieve that Rasa Blanca, that blank slate,
yeah,
the
it's been
clear
hard to
mind.
kinda get clear. There's like a jittery thing distracting me from like getting to the source.
Yeah, there's a lot of static there. So
Yeah.
it's not affecting any of your guys' features, class features, but you can feel kind of this, you're disconnected from your spirituality a little bit.
Yeah.
All right. But yeah, and then as the reason I bring that up is because you brought Yakul, the elk, which was summoned by one of your spells. You can tell that his color looks a little bit off.
He's looking less
He
red.
just was looking less red, a little paler,
A little more brown.
a little more
Pink,
brown.
pinky.
More like a normal elk rather than a red elk.
The dye
like
is
a
fading. It's time to. It's time to redo the hair.
This
just
is
a little
really
less
the sort of thing
special.
that like a lesser restoration could help with, huh?
The Arctic fox is fading.
Make a like. How would you want to investigate that? How
Try
would
it
you
on
want-
myself and see if like my maybe like throughout the night I kind of like as I'm trying to like calm the unsteady mind I cast I in my meditation I draw up energy from the earth from my feet all the way up to my tips of my hair, the flower in my hair, and and with that he kind of draws in the relaxed, steady a heartbeat of the earth below, in an attempt to calm his buzzing brain. And yeah, the spell describes you touch a creature and can end either one disease or one condition afflicting it. The condition can be blinded, deafened, paralyzed, or poisoned. But that's pretty specific.
Mhm.
But he's gonna give it a try because he's not feeling so good, and that spiritual connection is very important to Greg.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we do need to find a carrot, Mr.
Okay,
Treat.
so you cast the spell.
Yeah, I'm gonna cast the spell.
Okay, so as you cast lesser restoration, you feel that you feel for as like your essence reaches out and touches Arbathod again, but then the anxiety closes in and you're left to yourself. So I mean, it's like Arbathod is there. Your power and everything is still there, but you're unable to kind of. There's a barrier between you and your peace of mind. So yeah, it is. It was a noble effort. I'm going to give you an inspiration point for trying, but that doesn't seem to be the proper, or the right way to get rid of this.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Sorry, this is something I had planned to do, but forgot about in the moment. I know we're getting on the elk and getting ready to go shopping, but in the nighttime when you are having these anxious fever dreams, it called to your guys' minds the things that you least like about yourselves as characters. So, like, these are very personal moments, so you don't have to share them with one another, but if you wouldn't mind telling the audience what is the thing that that your character least likes about themselves? What are they most anxious about?
That's a very good question. That's something I hadn't really worked out. So that is
Our characters are perfect, Joe.
I know they are. Yeah, I mean, what what are your flaws? Like, as part of the character creation, we create, your personality. So look to your flaw. Like, what are the kind of the flaws that you have and that your character has that you can lean into for this kind of moment?
I think as I'm having fever dreams, I just get and I'm not going to share this with the group. This is just for me, the audience, me, to DM. But I get images of just how alone I am and how I've done that to myself, and how I get images of what a fool I am when I drink, and how much of a problem that is for me, and I don't know my limits, and I get images of the risks I take and how I take them too far, and it's just like things that I know that consciously I'm like, I know I need to work on these things, but subconsciously they are my demons and they're attacking me, of like, you know, this is going to get you killed someday. You're not worth being friends with. Like this,
Your actions bring
actual
harm to those that you love, to those
yeah,
around you.
and it's just like you can't ignore these things forever. Like, it just like I get like those are the nightmares that I have
Ooh, thank you.
during these.
All right. I didn't mean to cut you off.
It's cool.
But no, thank you for a very real things that I think we all have those. At least I do. As a person, but like, so thank you for sharing.
I'm talking about Zilla.
Yeah, I know. I'm like,
Zilla. It's
I was
Zilla.
saying, so for
Zilla has a
Zilla,
drinking problem.
yeah. So thank you for sharing Zilla's anxieties. Who wants to go next? And sharing
I'll
their
go.
Characters' anxieties. Go for it.
So my fever dream would include a lot of having to take care of another or a child per se, being a parent, because as my character has dealt with their parents, they don't themselves want to become a parent because they're afraid of following in the same kind of footsteps. So that dream would include a lot of the child constantly in need, constantly like asking, and just the anxiety that ensues of like I don't want to, like I don't want to care for you, but feeling the necessity of like, well, I have to, it's my duty. So that's kind of like where my fever dreams would come from.
How could I possibly take care of another person when I'm still on my own journey and just trying to figure out who I am?
Yes, absolutely.
Awesome. What a great. Thank you for sharing that anxiety. Who wants to go next?
I guess me. I think, and this is me talking as Nasir. I fear. There's always been something towards my chest. Ever since I was young, a fire, or there hasn't really been a common word to describe it other than the draconic word known as Dartak. And hats off, that means to hate. And I feel in combat that fire growing, and my fever dreams lead me to a burning forest. And a silhouette is all that stands amongst the flames, and I fear that that is me.
Thank you for sharing that. And Gruagok, what are Gruagok's anxieties and fever dreams in the night?
Gruagach, as he tries to reach his happy place, finds himself seeing the faces of every single person that he has injured or killed so far along the way. Every being of nature, and grieving them. Knowing full well that it, was do or die in most scenarios. But grieving for the, just saw this in Doctor Who, grieving for those that died alone. Yeah. And, yeah. The only thing that helped him get any shut-eye was mumbling a prayer once all of their faces had passed through his vision.
Wow. Awesome. Guys, thank you for allowing us to explore such a somber topic.
Did the music help?
The music definitely helped. But I think everybody just touching on some very real things that I think we share as humans. Fantastic role play. You all get inspiration. I know, Dave, you just got one.
Right.
So, but
I'm
hopefully
really
that
bad
will,
about remembering to use it, so it's
hopefully that will counteract the disadvantage everybody except for Nasir has on ability checks for the rest of the day.
I just want to say, I still have an inspiration that audience got me
Yeah.
last time, so
Yeah,
I
that-
have two currently.
I think
Yeah, that
Greg
one's a
did that-
permanent
had that
inspiration.
too, unless I used it last session, which I don't think I did.
So I just wanted to let everybody know that.
Yeah, thank you. All right, so y'all wander out of your rooms, having had these anxious fever dreams, and jump on your cool and go shopping.
Let's go to the mall.
The mall. Oh, gosh. Robin
that so?
Sparkles. I'm rewatching How I Met Your Mother right now with my roommate, and it's awesome. So, love that show. It's like hanging out with friends. So like if you're
Yes.
feeling lonely during this isolation and pandemic, and you're just like, I want to hang out with some old friends, I highly recommend How I Met Your Mother. It's just like hanging out with friends.
Where are you watching that on?
Hulu, actually. I know it used to be on
Oh.
Netflix, but yeah, we're watching on Hulu. I hear that show Friends is pretty good too. It's also about a group of friends.
Hulu. I like how you
All
said
friends.
that.
Hulu.
You put a little in it, so you're like Hulu.
You know?
Hulu Sotamoko, Wookie. It sounds like the start of what? No, it's what Greedo said to Han. Hulu mololo de solo. It's just I'll get it.
Amazing.
I love it.
Oh my god.
All right, yeah. What do you guys want to do with your day?
Okay, so very much like the Jetsons, we're gonna stroll through town, and I'm gonna drop off everybody at their respective place. But then my goal is I'm gonna go find a cleric. I'm gonna take a word from chat. Treebeard suggested we go find a cleric. So I'm gonna see if we can get some, some incense or shit to help burn the nightmares away.
Some sage, man.
Yeah.
Please.
Okay. All right. So you guys do know that there are several temples in Valentis. There are temples to many of the gods. There is one for many of the new gods. So there aren't there's not a temple to Arbathoth here, but you would find this is actually where you find like one of the biggest temples to Alaric, since he's the patron god or the patron deity of the kingdom of Valentia. But you also see there's also a temple to Galena. There's a temple to Delgar, and then another temple to Zoram.
Now, remind me, Galena was the goddess of.
Love and fertility and fruitful
Yes.
pasture or whatever.
Yeah, she's the human goddess of fertility and
Yeah.
maternal love, but it's like fertility of crops
Yeah.
and also fertility of.
What
Babies.
are
Babies.
what are we but not giant crops? No.
Right?
Okay. And the god of valor.
Yeah. So Galena, goddess of fertility and love. You have Alaric, the god of valor. Delgar is the dwarven god of craftsmanship, and then Zoram is the god of magic.
Probably him.
Okay. So yeah, you go to Zoram. This one is in kind of the northeastern part of the city. So you walk in and you see the statue of an elf actually, who's wielding a staff. He wields a mage's staff, and he is holding it high into the air, and it's glowing brightly. At least That's the it's a statue.
How are tensions between races? Like, of course, we have the elves that are attacking, but how do the people of Valentis feel about elves?
I mean, up until now, elves and humans and dwarves have all been allies. They're like any country or like nation. There are always kind of issues that they're working on and working through diplomacy, but they haven't been at war. Like there's common trade and travel between all of these nations.
They've been
and the
they've been to Canada to our America for a while. Like I don't
Yeah.
know what's going on.
Yeah, exactly. Like their tensions. It's not like the Badlands where you just got like tribes of wandering orcs and people like and a bunch of warlords constantly fighting over territory. That's what this region used to be back before the feudal wars. But it's become a lot more civilized, and humans have been able to kind of join in kind of civilized society with the elves and the dwarves. But yeah, so there are elves in town. I mean, humans and halflings are predominant, and then dwarves are probably the third most common here in Valencia. But you've got a smattering of all folk.
Got it. Okay.
And like the humans do tend to worship like Alaric, and then the dwarves Delgar, or the humans also worship Galena, and then I mean they worship based on different things, but that happens to be kind of the race of those gods. And so some people who are looking for kind of representation within their race will worship the god of their race.
So we walk in.
Yeah, sorry. So you walk in. You walk into the temple. You're greeted by one of the priests of Zoram, and he welcomes you. Welcome to the Temple of Zoram today. How may we be of assistance?
Zor. I just imagine
Zoltan.
Zoltan. Yeah.
God, we are old
You-
guys.
Well,
That movie was like 2000.
that's
I actually don't even. The reference is lost on me. What is
Yeah,
It's
me
fine,
too.
Cello. We expect it. We'll
I know,
explain
we
that
expect
later.
this.
Chat,
Okay.
chat. You run references for Zoltan.
Oh wait, Zoltan like from Big?
No,
No.
that's Zoltar.
Zoltar. Okay.
I wish I was big.
Confuse that.
Zoltan.
Can we move on?
Yeah. The priest of Zoram is like, how may we be of assistance today? And he's like, we offer our you're able to pray in the in the common area here, or we do offer a number of different magical services at a price.
Well, my friends and I have been in recent contact with a number of shadow demons, and we've expunged them all, but I think they've left a lingering wisp on our neck, if that makes sense.
Do you believe this to be a curse?
Maybe. It's hard for me to place. I was
We've been
wondering.
getting nightmares like the Dickens. You wouldn't believe it.
Oh, so you've all been experiencing this effect. It's not just one of you.
Yes.
Okay. Well, yes. For I mean, we generally we do have clerics here who are capable of casting different spells of healing, including remove curse. We also have charms for sale. But yeah, so I mean, your options, if in order to deal with this curse, are you can try to for free. You can try to pray to Zoram and test your faith, and see if he will heal you for free. Or we can, if you'd like, you can purchase our spellcasting services. It's like 10 gold per spell level, and so remove curse is a 3rd level spell, so that would be 30 gold per person.
Worth it.
Sure. Just a little.
Okay.
Wait, if that's a 3rd level spell, am I able to cast it?
Is it on your spell list? And
I'm
did
looking.
you
I'm
choose
looking. It is not. It is not. Okay. that's okay. It was worth a shot. You know how druids be sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to spend that right now.
Yeah, me too.
Okay.
Yep.
Same,
Uh,
man. Take our money.
Perfect. So he comes over. He calls over the one of the clerics, and in fact they call over a number of different clerics because they can only cast like 3 spells, level 3 spells a day, so they need at least 2 people in order to get the whole party. But they take you over into kind of into a side room where you guys can have some privacy as they utter a prayer, raise their hands to Zoram, and then their hands begin to glow as they're casting the spell, and they touch each of you, and you feel that radiant arcane energy enter into your body, enter into your soul, and then there's like a flash as it is expunged. Right, great word. And you feel that anxiety disappear, but in the moment of the flash you hear that scream, that ethereal scream, leave like an abyssal in your minds one last time, as it relinquishes its grip.
Nice.
All right, so yeah, you guys are no longer cursed. You do have the level of exhaustion, any exhaustion levels that you had, but it feels like you'll be able to have a more restful sleep tonight.
Yay.
Great.
Perfect.
Huzzah.
Good job. You guys each get 100 experience points for resolving the curse. Also, chat, just so you know, I know we haven't done any experience points on air. We calculated kind of the experience that they would have got, or that they got in the previous episodes. So I promise you that we're keeping track of it, and they're on track to be level 6 soon. So we'll see what happens.
We need 8 more RP events.
8 more RP events, and then you can hit the level 6. I'll play it situationally on whether you guys level up mid-session or whether we'll wait. It just kind of depends on what's going on in the moment when you guys hit that cap.
Cool.
Very cool. All right. Yeah. What else do you guys want to do with your day? I mean, it's still morning time. There's plenty things to do. There's a lot. I mean, this is the capital. This is where most of your goods and services are going to be available. I know you guys have been looking after some magic items for a while. So there are lots of options of things you can do with your day.
I would like to go and see if I can buy some language books, because if we're going to be traveling around, I want to know what everybody's saying.
Okay.
Yeah, I've gotten by on Common and Thieves' Cant, but like if we're going to be together for a while, I feel like I should know more.
Okay.
So
yeah, with that, there's a bookshop in town. Do you guys all want to like? I guess we can just handle them one at a time, or does everybody want to say what they want to do, and then we'll do it one at a time. And then if you want to like tag along and say that you're at that thing, I figure everybody's just kind of doing their own thing.
Yeah, we're walking around the mall. We all have our pretzels in our bags.
Yeah, exactly.
dipping it in the cheese.
So what you have in Valentis is the Emporium, right? And the Emporium is basically the mall, right? It is the market, the central market where a lot of the established stores are at, and then there are there are openings, and there's an open area for kind of more traveling merchants or newer merchants, and then around like the outside is where you have kind of like the flea market, where everybody who can't afford like an actual rental space in the Emporium has just amassed outside of their, and it used to be an informal market, and now it is what it is. People know where to go. So so as you make your way through the flea market and into the Emporium, they do have a bookstore. And in that bookstore, they have a variety of different books. I mean, you're specifically looking for language. What languages are you looking for?
I'm gonna look for Elvish, and maybe Dwarven, And Dragonborn, because I've always thought that was really cool. I would love,
Okay.
actually, yes, Dragonborn. Yes, I would love to learn Dragonborn.
I knew
Alright.
a dragonborn once.
Let me open this.
I wasn't even thinking of my past character at the time. I was thinking of something completely different than Alishella knows about. Like, wait a minute,
Yeah.
I actually do know somebody who might speak that. That's a
I
good
played-
one I want to learn.
I played a dragon. Oh, wait, which one? Wait, which one are you talking about? Oh, yes. Sorry, I played a human cleric or a human paladin that ended up with a dragonborn magical item, and so I was like, I'm gonna learn dragonborn, and I just since it
That's
was
right.
since it was it was a huge katana. What are the big katanas are called?
It-
Um,
I don't
an
remember what it was.
odachi. It's an odachi.
It was an Odachi named Stormswind.
Yeah,
And it was a very important plot point, actually.
yeah, it really was.
It just
Anyway.
like became that.
In that one I said that Dragonborn sounded like Japanese, and so I'd always like make up fake Japanese sayings every time I like anime attacks. Whenever anyway, just a story from another time.
But yeah, those are the three I'm looking for. Is in the order I'm looking for it, I guess, is Elvish, because I'm like, I have a feeling that's going to be important, and then
Right.
Dragonborn, and then maybe Dwarvish. But if I don't find the Dwarvish, it's fine. It's those
Okay.
two I'm really looking for.
So books can actually be kind of expensive, because paper and ink is not or are like valuable commodities here.
It's not like
in-
500 gold a piece, is it?
Yeah, it's this is not the it's not 500, but it's gonna be about 100 gold a book.
Oof. All right.
See how
So-
it is. Dragon Quest rules.
Dragon Quest rules. I know. Is it like paper and ink? It's really expensive.
Well,
and for a
as
full book.
as we're at this bookshop, I would turn to Zilla and say, like, I think Elvish is very in our best interest, so I wouldn't mind helping you pay for that one, so that way you could get another one of your liking.
Oh, well, thank you very much.
And I'm just
I'll
gonna
even-
I'm gonna interject and be like, maybe I could teach you how to speak Elvish and Draconic.
You could just. Well, really?
I've been speaking both my entire life.
I also speak Draconic.
Okay. I'm.
Just if you're looking to save money, if you want the books for as a resource, by all means.
So the way
Teach-
this will work mechanically. Oh no, go ahead.
Well, how will it work mechanically before I say what I was
Okay.
gonna say?
So how it will work mechanically is every time you guys take a long rest, you get 4 hours of downtime, right? Or anytime you take downtime, like while we're traveling, or like you'll have just periods of downtime. So with each book, it's going to take 100 hours of downtime to learn that language, right? So if you're going to have somebody else teach you how to do it, then you're both going to have to spend that downtime learning. The book will replace so in case they're not there, you could then just like read the book during your downtime when you're by yourself. So
Okay.
it allows you to kind of maximize your downtime so that but it's up to you. Like, you guys are more than welcome to teach each other, but that's what it's going to be, is 100 hours to learn a new language.
Okay. That's like a gold per hour. I
For only a gold per hour, you could learn.
And as an extra deal, we'll throw in these books as well for only $19.99.
Plus shipping and handling.
And again, if you order right now, we'll send a small little book travel fee.
but that's not all.
just so you guys know, that's 20. Like, if you spent your 4 hours of light activity every long rest, reading that book, that would be 25 long rests to learn that language.
That's not
So
Basically a month.
Yeah, so basically like a month to learn language, which I think is pretty fair.
That seems quite reasonable.
Just
okay.
killing it on Duolingo.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I'm going.
I think having the Dragonborn book, I don't know, it's more sentimental than anything. So I want to buy the book, but I would love for you to help me learn both of these languages. That would be extremely helpful.
Oh, okay. So the shopkeeper's like, so you.
I'm
want
buying
the
this
Dragonborn one?
Dragonborn book, please.
Wonderful. Okay, yes, 100 gold pieces, please, and the book is yours.
Yay.
And I hope it serves you well. And would any of you, the rest of you, interested in any books of my fine collection? We have histories, we have spell books, we have, for those of you who are magically inclined.
I was gonna say, I'd like to just kind of peruse and see if I find any books that kind of give off the energy read of Arbathod,
The energy read of
or
Arbathod.
the kind of have similar insignia to like what's on my leg.
Okay.
You pick up your leg just like.
You got anything like this?
Greg, no, don't get Greg wrong. Greg is he understands and appreciates craftsmanship, so
Yeah.
he's got a pretty strong picture of what it looks like and strives to come close to that perfection someday.
No, that's awesome. Also, there are any so as you're looking around, you do see books for like learning wood carving, which you already know. You see an herbiary for like different plants and like to identify plants and what kind of potions could be made with them.
Which ones you can smoke, man?
Which ones you can smoke, which ones you shouldn't smoke, which ones serve as suppositories. Just like there's a wide variety of uses for plants. And then there's like a like in the kind of
I have
like
to pee.
the collector's section. You do find kind of a history or like yeah, just like a history of the old gods, like legends and myths of the old gods.
Oh, Greg would love that. Greg just wants to like find wisdom in all of it. Not literally, because I'm pretty maxed on wisdom, but
Okay.
but
So
he
that one
seeks
is
to just
actually
taste the fruit of the of legend.
yeah. That one is, since it's in kind of the collector's section. That one's gonna run you about 200 gold pieces.
How
Well,
much
I
is
got
that knowledge worth to you?
150 gold pieces, and I got that armor I can flip for some cash. But I'll put a pin in that.
I mean, we can, since we're kind of shopping. I don't want you guys have to do like all this back and forth. We can, because you planned on selling your armor anyway.
Yeah.
Here, here, we'll look at what scale mail is worth. Oh, that's the wrong one. Okay, here we go. Armor. Scale mail. All right, so yeah, you could sell it for like 25 gold pieces.
Okay. Cool. Greg's gonna do that.
Okay.
What do our coffers look like, and is this something that's going to hurt the party if Greg gets this book?
Nah, we got 1100 on my end. I'm just counting for you and me.
Got it. Cool. Yeah, Greg doesn't really like the idea of money, but he does like the idea of ideas.
I like the idea of buying things, but I don't know how. So
I don't know
200,
about all this money business.
200 out of the thing.
Yes. Well, yeah, 200, and then I'm putting 50 in.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah. Okay, perfect. He's like, oh, this is we don't have, not a lot of people are interested in the old gods, but those that, but there are still, the intellectual few who are. So this is a very valuable book. Thank you for your patronage, and I hope that you enjoy.
Thank you for having some literature that seemed to call out to me, man.
Awesome. So
What's up,
the
Greg?
the way you can use that book is it'll give you advantage on any like history checks regarding like things of like the past,
Okay.
or if if you're during your downtime, like when you guys take a long rest, you could ask me for some lore on like ancient on like specific gods or ask questions like that, and I'll let you know if that information is contained in the book or not.
Awesome. I
what
would
that
love
might
to
be.
hear if there's just like a creation myth in there. That'd be so interesting to hear the creation myth of this world.
There is definitely a creation myth.
I mean,
or
no
two.
rush on it. Don't
Maybe,
have to improvise it, like-
maybe 3 or 4 in there. Who knows? There are lots. It's literally called Myths and Legends of the Old Gods. So
Yeah, Greg looks forward to that.
very cool. Great job. So he also has books for any of the skills or tools that you guys, if you guys want to learn. They don't sell the tools here. You'd have to get those at a general store. But if you wanted to learn how to use those tools, it's the same thing as learning a language. It would cost you 100 hours of downtime. So, is anybody else interested in books, or did you want to move on to something else?
Something else.
Okay, what are we doing next?
All right, so who chose the bookshop, Riss?
I did.
All right, we'll go down the line. I mean, Izzy, you haven't gotten Blixie, you haven't got anything. Is there anything you want to hit up?
I have an. I mean, I looking at what I have. I would not mind selling some armor I have and getting some health potions.
Anything you guys want to sell, just sell it. Feel free to sell it here, and it's going to be half of whatever the cost is in the PHB. So feel free to kind of unload all that stuff that any junk you've been carrying around.
I
can-
did that
you
when
can-
we got to town.
Yeah. So
I still one stop. I still want to find an armor that maybe can do some enchanting, because I still have the phase panther hide.
the face panther, the hide of the displacer beast.
Yeah.
Those services do exist here. With that, you in the Emporium there is the Magic Store. I forgot to come up with a fancy name with it. So chat, come up with a fancy name for this Magic Store.
Rooster's roster, because
Yes.
because
I was trying to think of something with Rooster.
because
Wait,
Rooster.
Wait. Last time we did this, and we said, "Chat, come up with something,"
Okay.
and then we chose it. So
That's
give
true.
them like
Yeah,
2
we're
seconds.
we're gonna give it to chat. I want to hear what chat has to say.
What kind of shop is it?
You all
That's
hear
important.
Dave stabs Dave whisper on the wind. Nice buy. All right, Mystical Ruster. Oh, Mystical Rooster. All right. Yeah. I
Rooster
like,
supply store.
Rooster supply store. So I think that would be like more like supplies. We want like a magic shop. Like this is like where
Oh, it's a
magic
magic
happens.
shop. I wasn't
Yeah,
sure. I was like, what do they sell here? That's important to the
Oh
name.
yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. So this is the magic shop where like you can buy and sell magical items. Like this is a big deal. And,
Rambunctious Rooster's mythical supplies.
Rooster's Mythic Supplies. That's it. That's the name. Rooster, thank you much. Because you are also one
But
of the,
like Rooster's Roost.
we had promised you we were going to use your name in a future thing, and so thank you, Rooster. And I'm very happy
Love
that
it.
this is where we got to put it. So
Yay!
Rooster's Mythic Supplies. You walk in and you can see the proprietor, Mr. Rooster himself.
Whoop, whoop.
He is he's a gnome.
He's a no.
There it is.
He's a gnome tinkerer who just loves magic items and evaluating them. He's got one of those little like gemstone like magnifying glass eyes things,
I love
monocles,
it.
like a magnifying monocle, and he's like always like looking at different like it's pretty great. And he goes, welcome to Rooster's Mythical Supplies. What are you in the mood for? How may we help you?
I'm gonna go through my bag and pull out the the hide that's been expertly attached to a cloak. I'm gonna put it down on the table. It's like I'm trying to get this enchanted so that the mystical properties of this beast go into this cloak.
Oh, you want to hide a cloak of displacement, correct?
Correct.
Wonderful. So, since you've provided most of the necessary materials, allow me to. He's like, he starts doing his little monocle thing. I want to see what this, what we could do here. How much it would cost to work with this. So we're gonna open up my shortcut that I have here to buying and selling of magical items. Treasure from the DMG, and let's see, what is this? What do I know we asked this before. What's the rarity on this one?
I think it's just. Let me double check. It might be rare. Yeah, it's rare. It's a rare magical item.
Rare magic. All right, thank you. So for a rare magic item, it would cost somewhere between 500 and 5,000 gold pieces to buy it. Since you provided most of the necessary materials, it's gonna be on the lower end of that scale, and it's gonna come at kind of a discount. So he goes, okie dokie. So you could buy one off the shelf for 2,500. Or for this one right here, we can have our enchanters enchant it for 1,000 gold pieces. But for you, I'll bring it down to 750. But it will be a 3-day wait.
Deal. And I'll slide over 700 gold pieces.
Okay, 750.
750, exactly.
Okay, thank you. All right, well, I will get this off to our enchanters, and he calls over. He's like, Mikhail, and you see another half elf come over, and he's got like tattoos, like enchanted tattoos that glow, all like on his forearm. He's just got like a sleeve of them. He's like, this is in good hands. Promise to get you. I know exactly what you're looking for. And then he takes
Don't
it
worry,
back
he's
and
good
begins- they're in good hands. Magic half elf hands. The tattoos help me work. And yeah, and he begins, like, you can see him like through the crack, and he's already like getting like doing the measurements and stuff, and he pulls out like these special kind of needles that he taps together and makes sure they're attuned to one another, and then like takes a moment and just like begins like weaving, but he's not weaving any kind of like he's weaving magic, right? Like he's not weaving any kind of string, but you can see him literally tugging on the weave itself to pull out the magical properties that are inherent in Displacer beasts and have them permanently manifested on this cloak. So it's a that'll be done in probably about 3 days.
Cool. Very, very cool. Finally!
Finally, I know.
9 episodes!
We've been trying to get this for a long time. The circumstances are finally right. Great. What else? Who else wants to do something? Anything else you guys want to do in town before you meet with the king?
If nobody's gonna say anything, I'm gonna branch off real quick and maybe go find, like a. I don't know. Are the only hospitals like? Is there any like a hospital type of place, like a clinic, or like are they only like the temples for healing?
Go down to the free clinic.
There are hospitals. There's like one main one. Yes, and it's Treebeard's Hospital. There's actually a treant who is devout of Arbathod, named Treebeard, who is the proprietor of this hospital. What is a hospital?
Okay, cool. So, I want to. Is this?
Please go talk to him.
Yeah, I'm gonna go talk to him. Yeah, I'm gonna go talk to him. Well, I have to now that his name is Treebeard.
Treebeard.
Yeah, I'm gonna go talk to him.
You.
Did everybody else follow me, or I just am like, I'll be right back, and
You guys are kind of
said
going
you were
everywhere
gonna be right
together.
back, I think.
Oh yeah.
All right. I mean, you can come with me if you want, but I'm like, I got an errand to run real quick. I'll be right back. So, hello. Are you the owner of this establishment, or the one in charge of this establishment?
Like, yes, you're lucky that I'm here today. I have many assistants that help me here at Treebeard's Hospital. And I am happy to be of service. I promise you that my services are much faster than my speech.
I
What
believe it.
can I do for you?
Well, I wanted to know how many patients you have here and how how many people you help on an average day to day.
On an average, we have 75 beds, and well, we're always trying to help people, but that our capacity is 75 before we have to start doing triage.
Well, my employer wanted to make an anonymous donation
Oh,
to help
have-
this establishment further with helping people, of course.
we are very committed to helping people, and we would love to accept your boss's anonymous
Yes.
donation.
Yes, the one under which I am employed. He doesn't, or they don't like to reveal genders and whatnot, but they go by a code name, as it were,
Hats off. It's not code name. What is it? Alias.
Alias.
they go by an alias known as the Shadow of Mercy.
Oh, I've heard of the Shadow of Mercy.
Yes.
They have made donations to other establishments here in Valentis before.
Well, now it is yours who will receive such a donation.
I am humbled, and I promise that this will be put to very good use to help the people. And I know that you said anonymous, but shall we? How would you like that anonymity to be displayed? Shall we say it was from the Shadow of Mercy, or shall we
Oh,
accept it
please.
silently?
Oh, Shadow of Mercy will be fine. Whatever you feel is appropriate.
I would not want to.
They just wouldn't reveal their real name. It's anonymous inherently, I should say.
Okay, so we will promote that the Shadow of Mercy has generously given us a gift. And what would this donation and how much would this donation entail?
I pull out a bag that I've already like pre-counted, and I slide it on the table, and I said,
This is what they've gathered specifically for their next donation. And there you'll find that there is 200 gold in there.
Splendid. I thank you very much. And if you have ever need of our services, please call on me directly.
I will pass along the message to my employer.
And inside this, like, it's a really cool kind of hospital. Like, I mean, they've got like the beds, but there is like his office is kind of like this central garden, where they provide. I mean, it's like a really peaceful place, like where not only are you like receiving top medical care, but it's just a really relaxing. They have a really great ambiance there. They're not just like a bunch of butchers.
sure. Okay.
Yeah, please continue to provide the best care that you can for the people who are in need of it.
I will. We will use this to buy new medicine and tools.
Wonderful. Splendid. Well, you have yourself a tip-top day.
And you as well. Hi. Congratulations. Great job.
Thank you.
I've been waiting so long to do that.
I know. The Shadow of Mercy finally reveals herself. Well, she
Shadow of
doesn't,
Mercy
but
strikes
we-
again.
We finally witnessed the Shadow of Mercy.
For those of you playing along at home, it's me. They
It's
don't
me.
even know I'm self-employed.
What? I never knew.
They don't need to know I'm self-employed.
Okay.
So I go back and I try to find the group. I don't know if anybody went with me, actually. Somebody might have been standing there, but...
no,
I was
yeah,
there.
Was anybody with me during that?
So, I think you asked to go off by yourself, right? Or did somebody follow you?
That's what I heard.
Okay, yeah. Then, yeah, I go find
You
the
said
group.
you kind of like snuck off and went looking around for a specific shop.
Yeah. All right, cool. So I go back and try to find the group.
You're wandering around the Emporium, get another pretzel, trying to figure out where they, hollering around. Good stuff. All right, what next?
Is there like a maybe like a open field or someplace like off to the side, not so much in the city center, like a park or maybe like a way to get outside of the city walls?
Yeah, there is a park in the city. In fact, there is a quest board that it's posted in numerous places around town, usually at the garrisons. There is a Kingswood, which is it's a forest just a little bit north of the capital, just outside the gate, and they do a lot of hunting there. But you have to have a permit from the king. Right now, there's actually an open call on the quest board for they're paying 10 gold pieces per hide if you were to go hunting in the Kingswood because they need the leather for weapons and armor for the war.
But you need permission.
Yeah, so I mean this serves as open permission right now, but if they didn't have an open permit, then you'd have to like get permission from the king or from the authorities to hunt in those woods. But right now you don't. You just
Okay,
need
well,
the-
I would like to invite the group if they wanted to come with me, but I feel like that's something I would like to go sneak off and do, just spend some time in the Kingswood and, maybe get a little gold in the middle of it, but I'm not going there specifically to hunt.
Okay. Also, Blix, I'll remind you that you had agreed to join the civilian militias today at noon. Are you? It's about that time. Are you gonna go to that shift or
I'm gonna
Call no
pretend-
show.
You were
Yeah.
drunk. You really don't have to.
No call, no show.
Just
No call, no show?
call in and tell them you've got the Black Plague. Call in the jury duty.
Call the jury?
Say it.
I'm gonna say I'm you know what I'm gonna say I have an important meeting with the king and so I need to prepare for that, but really go to the Kingswood and hunt.
Okay. And they're like, "Well, we're sorry that we can't count on your service. I mean, we'd already adjusted the entire schedule, but we'll find somebody to."
Just to fit you in.
Do you know who this is? This is Blixa, and they saved the king.
Oh yeah, I heard that was you. The same
That-
people that came in here yesterday to leave a statement, and then you were acting very drunk and disorderly.
Yes, I have amazing intuition that led me to believe that the nonchalance of this office was not to be taken lightly. So I went to the king myself.
We passed up your statement, and we were assured that it was delivered to the king himself. And we made sure that the castle itself was on high alert in case there were any intruders or people.
The
trying to
intruders
sneak
were
in.
already within.
Well, they must have been very good.
But that is quite all right. I have a meeting with the king. I have a meeting with the king later this evening, and so unfortunately I will not be able to keep my shift. But
We-
I do wish to be of service at a later date.
Well, thank you very much, and please give our highest regards to the king.
I will.
And as you're walking out, you see once again the bounty board, and on there is they're paying 1 to 5 gold pieces for information on the whereabouts of turtle knolls. It is they're wanted for disrupting the peace, and they're for any information regarding their whereabouts because they are still unknown.
I'm gonna walk in. I'm gonna walk in.
Are you gonna walk in?
Yeah, I'm gonna be like, all right, I have information. There's a huge misconception about what turtle knolls actually are.
I need to know that you're super duper cereal.
So serial. But nobody believes me. Turtle knolls
Yeah,
are actually just a group of miscreants that go under that name. It's kind of like their tattoo, where it's like a knoll but has a turtle shell because the tattoo artist messed up. So they're an underground group of miscreants that just go by the name Turtle Knolls.
Okay. Please roll a deception check. Right? 'Cause you're making this up. You're lying. Yeah.
All in your own bluff.
Well, it's kind of like I'm just like,
making
okay,
the lie worse.
it's just a gang. It's not like a group of things. But I rolled a 19. My deception is wonderful.
I guess my question for you, Nolan, is: are you trying to create something in the world, like and getting DM's approval, or are you trying to lie to this cop about that other lie that you made up?
I made a distraction. I don't want to scare people by thinking, oh my God, there's knolls that have turtle shells on them. I was like, okay, it's just a gang. And I rolled a 23 on that check.
Perfect. Okay.
Okay.
Awesome. I just want to make sure I was handling that appropriately. Yes. So I mean, it's still technically a deception, but it's a deception for good reasons.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, well, we'll keep an eye
Gluten
out for
problems.
any urchins or street gangs that are. I mean, in any urban city, urban area, you're gonna find high levels of street crime. So thank
Okay.
you. We'll keep our eyes out. We thought that they happened to be gnolls with shells on their back and wielding weapons. We thought they were some monster that we hadn't heard of that had wandered out of the wild. So thank you for your information.
Terrible. And
Yes. Well, thank you for for doing your duty and for serving the kingdom.
thanks. Yeah.
And do you mind if I see your identification?
Sure.
And he writes down, provided public service and informing us about the whereabouts of turtle knolls.
Cool.
And he hands it back.
You just pencil in later. Invented turtle.
Yeah, with a gold piece.
Okay. Oh, okay. A gold piece. All right. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You helped them learn.
Just to
Provided
kind of
valuable
bring this
information.
full circle, because one, I need to bring enjoyment into life, and this is one of the many things to do it. I'm gonna go find a group of just like youths, and be like, okay, listen, kids. The 4 of you are now the Turtle Knolls. I want you to be a good gang. Don't cause too much ruckus. Just like some little pranks, maybe like, simple stuff. But
Random acts of service to the elderly. They're like the buttercream gang.
You're gonna you're the turtle knolls, and you're gonna have 4 nicknames: Donatello, Raphael, Michelangelo.
and then I'm each gonna give them a gold piece to carry out that wish.
Okay, they're like, I mean, they are just ecstatic. Like
Yeah.
a gold piece. And I've said this before, but just like I don't know about you guys in Dungeons and Dragons, I struggle to have a concept of what's money worth, right? Like how much is it worth? But if you look like a hireling makes an unpaid, so your minimum wage job pays 5 silver a day. Right, and then a trained person who's this is their career and they're doing this every day, they're making 5 gold, right? So a gold piece to this person is wow, to somebody
Yeah.
who first of all they're a child, and then somebody who is poor means the world to them.
Yeah.
They bite into it. They're like, is this real? Is this real life?
Trust me,
And-
I could have given you chocolate, but I didn't.
They're ecstatic, we're the Turtle Knolls! And they run off to help some elderly person.
Oh my
Boom.
god, I love it. Oh.
My deed is done for the
Okay.
day. But
Who is going to the I almost said the Godswood. Who's going to the Kingswood with me?
how much time do we have in the day?
You said it was
and
around noon, right?
I mean, it was noon. Like all this, it's you're probably like looking like 2 o'clock in the afternoon now.
Okay.
Greg's gonna go to the Kingswood with Blixa. He doesn't really like feel too strongly about just like going out hunting for the sake of hunting, but he would like to do some foraging, and just some kind of study of the nature in the area, kind of get to know the region.
And
Okay, yeah.
I would like to enjoy some trees as well.
Yes, we
I was
love
like,
a
I figured
tree.
my nature people might want some tree time. Awesome. You guys go to the Kingswood, and Blixa's gonna go do her hunting.
I'm still walking
Uh,
around going, where did everybody go? Another pretzel.
Yeah. So when I meet him in the food court.
This is like my fourth
Um,
pretzel.
All right. Just to speed this up, we're gonna we're gonna make some checks. Turn this into how much, like, to see how many skins you're able to get, Blixa.
Well,
and then-
I sorry. I'm very sorry that you want to speed this up, but
Oh.
as we get to the Godswood,
Kingswood.
Kingswood.
I keep saying God. I'm
Yeah.
Stop Game of Thronesing this.
Squeeze,
this is not
squeeze,
Game of
squeeze,
Thrones.
squeeze, 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 squeeze.
Come on, Dave. Get it. Anyways,
I don't know. I don't know it. I've never watched Game of Thrones. Don't hurt me.
Whoa.
You'd like the
It's okay.
soundtrack.
That was heavy.
Uh,
Okay,
sure. I
If
like
it were a
some
couple
the
of years
stuff.
ago, I'd have been like, "Yeah, dude, what's wrong with you?" But after seeing season 8, I'm like, "Whatever, it's fine."
yeah.
What's season 8?
So as we
Exactly.
get to the Kingswood, I kind of like like looking around. I don't do we see a lot of people?
You see some people, because I mean this is an open thing, so it's kind of like, if anybody hunts, it's opening day. You do see some other people out there, but as long as you're careful to not shoot them with your bows and arrows, and everybody there knows to like be quiet. And the wood is pretty big. I mean it's legitimately a forest. It's like Sherwood Forest in England.
Okay.
So
I'm
like-
gonna make sure not to be like too close to other people. But we've been with this group for a while, and I just didn't want to hold it any longer. But as we make it to the Kingswood in like a kind of like a little secluded outcrop of trees, I reach into my pocket and kind of like open it up, and out flies a blue drake. And it is it's like a dark blue with a light blue underbelly and bright blue eyes. And as I let this drake out, you can see that it's been in the pocket a while, so it's kind of like stumble, like kind of stretching out, and then it just flies off. And
Adios.
yeah, and I turn to Greg and Nasir, and I basically say, "Well, cat's out of the bag."
Is that a drake in your pocket, or are you just happy to see us?
Yeah.
Is the Drake's name Cat?
What?
No, the Drake did not have a name when it came to me, but I love.
I'm not there, but
Lovingly ish call her Lily. And just on my travels after leaving my family, I was an adventurer, and I took some odd jobs here and there, and when a job came to help a town out with a dragon, I couldn't resist. And so, on this journey, I was kind of fighting with myself because a lot of adventurers before me had failed in this quest, and so I thought, how could I do this? I'm one person. And so as I kind of made my way to the dragon's lair, I decided to lay my bow down, and I went in there knowing I would either come out dead, or I would talk to it. and try and see. And I mean, I didn't know if it knew common. I did not know draconic, but I laid my bow in front of it, and this dragon was not well. And being so thankful that I wasn't just another adventurer, wanting to kill or harm it, I asked what it needed. And it was holding on to life for one reason and one reason only, and it was Lily. At the time, she was an egg, but the dragon had talked to me, and it wasn't like talking like, hey, I have an egg. It was almost like almost like telepathically, where like I can't really explain it. And I definitely don't want a child. Like I can barely take care of myself. I mean, you've seen my father. But the dragon had I want to say a curse. Some would say blessed. However you mention it, or however you call it. I am now Lily's warden. Or I mean, if Nasir, you speak Draconic, so you might hear her call me Zaza because she can't say Blixa, child. But I've been struggling with it because I don't, I don't want, I'm bequeathed on keeping her safe and keeping her healthy, and so I keep her, in this, close to my chest, figuratively and physically. But I want her to fly, and I want her to grow, and the one thing I'm struggling with, and I'm sure Greg, you being close to nature, and Nasir, you having that connection, this is a living, breathing thing, and I'm basically doing to Lily what my family's doing to me. And so I didn't want to come here to hunt. That was my excuse. But I came here to let her fly and give her some time. And as I'm kind of like telling you guys this, she comes and flies back down, and she's sitting, and yeah. So that's that. Like I said, cat's out of the bag.
So this is tiny dragon.
Yes, Drake.
Drake.
Yeah.
Wow.
How big is it? If you don't know, you can
Jake
answer
could
me
have been there
later.
for that.
It's
Is
tiny.
there a thing in here for that? Yeah, tiny. It doesn't say, but I'm gonna say, I
It's
have
tiny.
it. Yeah. Okay. Fine. It's tiny.
Oh, it's like actually like tiny, like the size tiny.
The
not
size
just like-
tiny.
Oh, okay, the size tiny. Okay.
No.
So he's Weedle. But
He's
as
Weedle guy.
you and the dragon grow more powerful, it will grow in size as well.
Yes.
Cool. What is the element that it has an affinity to?
Ice.
Ice. Okay. So for those of you watching at home, you're a ranger, right? And what is your background, your subclass called?
Drake Warden.
Drake Warden. Awesome. So I've allowed this. It's an Unearthed Arcana subclass. We've allowed it into this campaign. I did make the caveat that in the regular one, as it's printed in Unearthed Arcana, it can like change between different damage types, kind of whenever you summon it. I prefer to have something a little more consistent, so made Blixa choose one. So this will be. You said lightning, right?
Ice.
Ice. Sorry, ice. So this will be an ice drake, which are different from dragons, but they're cousins to dragons. Very similar to wyverns. Wonderful. I'd give you all inspiration, but y'all already have it. So this is fantastic roleplay. Everybody's doing amazing. With that, you guys kind of conclude your day. It gets time to get ready to get dressed up and ready for dinner with the king. We're going to take a bio break, and then we'll be back at 7:15 for a to meet with the king.
Meet with the
Excellent.
king. Huzzah!
Meet with the king. Thank you. See you guys soon.
And now, a quick word about our sponsors.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Ready.
Wrong thing.
Freaking, what is it? What are we? Where are we?
Dice.
I'm already messing this up. Welcome to Fire and Dice,
we
everybody.
we meet a new cast member.
Ready? No,
Never. No, not in a million.
no. I just wanted to show off these awesome dice bags that I received from what is his name? I don't want to.
Cottage.
This is the best commercial ever.
This is great. This is memorable.
This is exactly
Craig's
the kind
Cottage.
of chaos Craig
Craig's
wants.
Cottage
Don't worry.
made these dice bags. These are dice bags. They look like succulents. This looks like a cactus. This looks like a Graptivaria. But these are dice bags, and they are wonderful. And look at how detailed they are, and look at how pretty. This is a small one, and it holds 4 to 5 sets of dice. I counted myself by testing them out earlier. This is a large one. It currently has 8 to make it look nice and full and plump, but it held up to 11 earlier without making it look too stuffed.
11 dice or 11 sets of dice?
11 sets of dice.
Wow, that's
a lot of
honestly,
dice,
They fit a
so-
lot more dice than I thought they were gonna fit.
Yeah, so I mean, I recommend around 8 or 9 just because when it's too stuffed, it's hard to get the dice out. But like, but yeah, you could fit probably 11 or 12 sets of dice in the big one, and probably up to 5 in the small one, without it losing its shape. So
And they're
these-
plants you can't kill.
They're plants I can't kill, which is awesome because I totally have killed succulents before.
Kill a
Womp
succulent.
womp.
I don't know, but I'm not a druid, so. I told you I'm a rogue. I don't have magic, so I killed plants. But this is awesome, and I love these, and I can't wait to just keep using these forever and ever.
I can't wait until
Thank you.
the secret plan that Craig has planted that those will slowly start to like wilt away.
That's some.
They shall
that's some
never
next level
unravel.
crochet.
But shout out to Craig's Cottage. He made these beautiful and awesome dice bags. They've got like.
What do you know, Craig?
They got like these drawstrings.
Yeah, no, they're very fancy. I love mine.
Right.
And you guys can check out Craig's Cottage and the Doodly Doo.
Yes.
We've got a link there. You can get some dice bags for yourself. Thank you so much, Craig.
And when you're there,
Get them all. They're
Sorry,
hot. They
one-
have more
one-
designs
one
than
last-
just these two.
one last
Yes,
thing.
they do.
Once you're at Etsy.com/shop/Craig's Cottage, tell them that F&D sent you.
Yes.
Now back to our regularly scheduled programming.
Schedule.
This hat.
Awesome. So, you guys had a wonderful day in the Capitol, right, on the brink of war. And
It was a lovely day.
yeah, what a lovely day.
We frolicked. We had pretzels.
Yeah, pretty.
Yeah.
You know, went shopping. I think shopping is important.
Started the gang.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you did.
He did do that in all fairness.
You absolutely did. It's been a fun-filled day. So now you guys have your appointment with the king at 6 p.m. You guys make your way up the long winding road to the Valor Keep, to the castle, and you guys meet the same guard you had met last time you entered the castle. And you can see they're still on high alert. So they've got the full, like all the guards like right next to each other, shoulder to shoulder, blocking the door. And you see the captain there, and he's like, "Oh, you again."
I'm gonna make a point to not be more than 25 feet away from Nasir. Just putting that out there.
You must have seen something in his eyes, because he was about to, like, he's like, these guys, you are on the approved list this time, but real quick, I need to speak with you, Nasir. The rest of you can go on and move forward.
Well, as you remember, I can't be too far from my companions.
Wait, where are we again? Oh, we're at the palace, right?
Yes. Yeah, you guys
Okay.
are at the pass. Yeah, at the castle, the palace.
The
Castle.
castle.
I
the
do that all
palace.
the time. Okay, yes.
Ew. The castle.
The gods would, yes.
Yes. The Kingswood.
The King's Rock. We're at Pride Rock.
Okay, cool. You guys are at the castle, and yeah, he tries to see if he can get you to get 25 feet away, but you call him on his bluff, and he's like, "Man, well, stay safe and please stay close together. We don't want you blowing up in the presence of the king."
And stay out of the bog of eternal stench. That's what I'll tell you, and I'll just walk away.
And then he like writes that down. Stay out of bog of eternal stench. Unless there's a glowworm there that says hello.
Hello.
I'm glad that you got that reference out of everything.
Did you just say hello? No, I said hello. I've seen
I'm a
Labyrinth.
worm.
Ludo smell bad. That's my next D&D character. Is just Ludo.
Ludo.
Hold on. I just have to. I don't know if you can see it.
Oh my
David
god.
Bowie. Oh, kidnap me.
No. Okay.
Legit, I would give my baby brother away to be in the
What about-
presence of the Goblin King.
I would totally dance Magic Dance.
Oh, yeah. Dance, magic, dance. Would you give up your baby dragon to the Goblin King?
No,
No. Aww.
I can't.
Such a
Physically
good
can't.
Zaza.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna call you Zaza from now on. I love that.
I love Zaza. That's so blessed.
Okay. You guys are. They let you in, and Ambrose is there to escort you guys to dinner. He takes you all the way back through the double doors, into the second room where you guys can look up to the balcony that Zilla was running amok on and jumped over to get to last time. And then you walk forward into the main doors, again into the throne room with the count, where you see King Darius seated on his throne. He stands up and he welcomes you. He's like, my friends, please come in. I've been looking forward to our meeting very eagerly, and I want to thank you from the deepest part of my soul for being here to protect me last night. Even though we had everyone on high alert, you guys are the ones who really saved the day. So thank you. I hope you enjoy this our dinner tonight. And then I do have some things to discuss with you after we eat. He then serves you just a smorgasbord. You guys have like the first course of salad, and then they bring out a second course, like the main course of deer steaks, venison steaks. They have just a fine wine, mead, ale. You guys are very, very taken care of. In fact, this meal is so good that if you have a level of exhaustion, it is removed because you are so well rested. And if you don't have a level of exhaustion, then you get a free inspiration point. But I think you already have
If
one.
you don't have a
so-
level of exhaustion, you get one from the food coma.
Yeah, from the food coma.
Well, I use my inspiration point to eat faster so I can get the other inspiration point.
Okay, good. Awesome. With that, you guys finish your meal, and it's now time to talk business. And I just want to thank you again for being here. I called you here because I would like to ask for your help. And you have proven yourselves worthy of my trust. And as king, trust is not something that I am privileged to give to many. And so, but you being here and being able to save my life, I feel like I can trust you with helping me with the affairs of the kingdom. specifically this war. But I would be remiss if I did not ask you for your willingness. I would like to make a proposition to you. If you will help me end this war with the elves by whatever means, whether it be diplomacy or hopefully we could end it early, but if we can't, then by helping me win this war, if you can help us put an end to the war, I will make you lords in Valencia. I will grant you noble titles, and I will grant you property here in the capital. Before you accept, this could be very long and drawn out. You are literally stopping a war. This could be very dangerous. What I would ask of you is simply, like I said, to end the war, but you will have your autonomy. My troops and my resources are bound up here, fighting this current army at our gate. And so I wanted to talk with you, see if you would be willing, and then if willing to discuss options on what your next steps will be, and where you would like to go next, and we can kind of talk together about how we can go about this. So first things first, do you accept my proposal to become king's agents in return for becoming nobles once the war is through?
I really have no interest in holding titles, and honestly, it's not my place in this world to take sides in this war. It is in my interest to try to cease this violence and try to bring peace to both kingdoms, but I know that sometimes that's out of reach. So if you can send us at least on my way with some assistance, I'll see what I can do to stop it. But that's just coming from me.
He looks at you a little quizzically, but kindly, and you feel, well, those of you who are spellcasters feel like the faint emanations of magic. You can tell, you can very faintly tell that some kind of magic effect was briefly in effect. And he looks at you and he says, you said that you were not interested in titles, but are you not interested in the title of Oak Strider?
Well, that's something that's earned from something far higher than either of us. And it's not something that can be given. So, and to be quite honest, it's a title that is being bestowed on me one way or the other. It's the path I was set on. Not by choice.
He's like, I respect. He's like, I only ask you this playfully, but because I am curious. I understand titles are not for everyone, and if that is not the reward you seek, then I would be happy to find a reward that is more to your liking, if nobility is not what you aspire to. But I am curious, as one such as yourself who has been training to become an Oak Strider. You say you've been set upon this path. If you were allowed to choose, would you still choose to be an Oak Strider, or would you choose another path?
Well, it's all I've ever known, and I still believe that I am on the path I'm supposed to be.
Okay.
I don't seek to hold that title for power or for fame. It's for the betterment of the world.
Ah, I understand. And I want you to know that I do not offer you these titles out of vanity, but I offer you these titles because I trust you, and I long to have people that I trust near me. And I believe that you could be very helpful in the kingdom. However, I would not want to constrain you to a fate that is not of your choosing. For I believe that choice is the most important thing that we have as sentient beings, and in fact, the it is what creates our fates and our destiny. Which is why I hope, young Oak Strider, that not only do you follow the path that you are set upon because you feel it is your duty, but I hope that you will follow your path because you feel and because it is your choice. For slavery, I mean, duty without choice, without love, is just another form of slavery. And I would not have slaves in my kingdom. And so I offer the same choice to all of you. I hope that I would like to. I hope that you will help me, and I want you to know that your autonomy is important to me, and your ability to choose and choose for yourselves your own destinies, and if I may be of service in that. But yeah, what are the paths that you choose?
My king, if I could speak, I something has been weighing heavily on my heart since the council meeting, and I'm not sure if you're privy to or have knowledge of my history with Lord Dougherty. But what I can say is this promise of titles and lands and his want and need to understand or know what the next step is if you were to fall. That troubles me, and it has been troubling me since we had that meeting, because though our paths have crossed and kind of deviated, he had me sign away my rights to Cornwall, and that's a choice I made freely before he even had me sign something. But after sitting in that council meeting, that's something that weighs heavily on me. That he's so that like it's a kind of obsessive of him not only wanting to know his lineage, but what's happening here and why that plays a factor in his life. So I don't have or I don't feel like he has good intentions, and I just want to make that known with the recent attack. That's where I'm feeling, but I might not know the whole story.
I appreciate you being open and honest with me, and I'll admit that I have my own reservations about Lord Dougherty. Um, at the present, but hearing that you also have reservations only in only makes my trust for you uh, only gives me confidence that I'm not wrong to trust you. And the politics are always that which they are. Even as king, I am bound to my duty, which is why I feel the choice is so important. For I chose, I guess, like you, young Oak Strider, this was the path that was set upon me. But I feel for myself, I've chosen to be king. I could lead another life if I'd wanted to. I could run away from these responsibilities and maybe find some other that are just as worthy, or worthy in my own eyes. But I'm happy to accept this fate, and that is my choice, and the responsibilities that come with them. But as I was saying, the I I I have my reservations about Lord Dougherty, and I'm keeping a careful eye on him. However, he does have a lot of power and a lot of support from the people, And if I were to remove him too quickly, then I, as king, would lose. It would cause too much dissension among the people, and they would lose their trust in the kingdom and in me. So I am waiting for him to make a misstep that I can, if because I agree. I also have reservations about what he is doing, but I'm hoping that he's just ambitious and not treasonous. But I must be prepared for every eventuality.
That is my hope as well. That this is just a feeling, but nothing more than greed.
And I am aware of your background, Blixa, and I am grateful to have you here, and grateful that you're making your own choices in life and choosing the life and path that you will lead for yourself. And I want you to know that we support you, and I'm sorry that your family has been unable to.
The dice roll it they will.
That they do. And our choices make the best of our fates. So it sounds like you may be willing, but that not all of you will desire titles. If that is okay, I am happy to offer offer anything else. Ask what you will, and if it's within my power, I will give it to you. But I want you to know that you have my trust. So, would you be willing to help me in this war, or would you prefer to go on your own way and
I
stop
do
the
not
tide to Valentis?
I do not speak for this group. I only speak for myself and hope that our goals are aligned. I wish to see an end to this war, but I do not want to raise a banner for either side. If in all respect, Your Majesty, the real victims of this war are the innocent people of the towns that get raided through, of either side, and it's never. It's never the kingdoms that suffer. It's always the land that they go through. And if that is your goal in stopping this war and finding peace and maybe investigating why the elves are attacking, then I am willing to set on that path. But at this time, without any other information of why, I can't say that I want to join you in this fight.
Thank you for your honesty.
If I may speak.
Yes. Your thoughts.
I respectfully, of course, can't tell you who, but I have it on good authority that the rumors are true. The rumor that your ancestor, King Darius Valentis I, was blessed by the god of Alaric to rule. I have it on good authority that that rumor is true. And so I would love nothing more than to see that come to fruition, to keep going in your line. So if any way that I can help for your cause, you have my services.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And speaking as the king, I can tell you that the worship of Alaric is not some fiction that we have concocted to draw the masses under one banner, but that that I truly believe and have faith in the fact that my ancestor was blessed by the god Alaric, and that it is that blessing which has allowed us to rise to leadership, but to help guide humanity in a prosperous and peaceful direction. Virtue, valor, and victory, we get those because of our worship of Alaric. Um, and do you know the history of Alaric?
No, I haven't been very well versed in all the gods and things, but I do know I trust the one who gave me that information. And if they believe that um, Alaric is the authority on the matter, um, then that's who I would back.
Well, thank you. I do. I know that there are those, and I respect every person's desire to choose freely what they will believe, and I hope that they will. Um, but I know that there are those who doubt uh, my faith in Alaric, or they doubt the gods themselves.
Oh,
And
I
that is-
don't doubt.
and that is their right. Um, and I'm glad that you do not doubt. But I want you to know that this is not a fiction, but but that my faith is real. And as I told to you, Gruagok and Nasir, I serve the old gods as well. For the new gods and the old gods are not against one another, but they are allies. And this truth is lost on many. But I know whom you serve, and I'm happy to fight alongside you in preserving order and life in the world. And that is my only aim, is to provide a peaceful kingdom for my people and to lead them.
Can I just interject quickly?
Please.
Something dawned on me, and it's on our travels here at the city of Crossfork.
Yes.
A group of actors were hired to incite a riot against you and try to rouse the town into an uproar. But they were hired by Enora, a prominent member of the Black Hand and the Magpies, if my information serves me right. Part of me believes that the elves might have been incited to attack, and that there's something bigger at play here, and that it's not the kingdom itself. There might be someone in their ears driving them towards this, and if we can set on that path to try to uncover that mystery and maybe stop this, we might be able to save a lot of lives. And so all I can ask of you is to hopefully play some defense for as long as it takes, and try not to overextend yourself or the armies of Valentis. If we can try to hold this off, maybe we can stop it.
That is my desire as well, and I thank you for being so bold and trusting me with your accounting. These are my fears as well, and now we arrive really at the crux of the matter of what I was going to ask of you. I wanted to deliberate and see, if you were willing to help us in this war, what you would be interested in your next step being. But one of the things that I had that had come to my mind was asking you to go to the Zalaran capital, the Elven capital itself, to see if you might succeed where our ambassadors and couriers have failed. If we could establish contact with them and know what this war is about, I would feel much better. I mean, at least know. But I can't. Like I said, my messengers have failed before, and there aren't many in the kingdom that I trust with certain nobles positioning to try to increase their power. I know I can trust you, which is why I'm asking you to be agents in my name. And if you want, I would give you writs of my authority to speak on my behalf. and to investigate these matters.
Could you just around here say that we declined? Just so if any outside source were to see us go to the Zalaran capital and they knew that we were on your order, I feel like we would hit a few more snags along the way. But if they think that we are just heading out into the world and we, went our separate ways, we might have an easier path.
I see. Yes, I mean we could definitely not make mention of it. In fact, yes, we can definitely do that. And I would you still be interested in the writs of authority? I feel like it would give you more credibility in the Elven Empire, but at the same time, it might make it more dangerous as well if they don't see you as official representatives, or they do and they want to silence you. It could
Maybe maybe a letter of parley, some sort of. I don't want to, in all honesty, showing them a writ of your decree and your order might be a little bit too blunt for them. Maybe as a peacekeeping initiative might be a better tone. And
absolutely.
But I
Ambassadors for peace, writ.
Yes. I mean, it would simply be an official document with my signature and seal that you are sent by me to inquire about their and to seek a peaceful resolution to this war. And I think that would be very in line. Would you agree?
I agree. And
So we would be interested in pursuing this lead and going to the Zalaran capital. What other leads do we have on this war? And Ambrose speaks up. He's like, I have a colleague, Professor Curventus, which I believe our associates know, who has recently come in possession of a magical artifact that may be able to help us ascertain, or at least divine more intelligence on our present situation. Since our associates are friends with Professor Curventus, they could approach him at Archsage University to the north, and see if they could gather more information that way as well. That's just one lead that comes to mind. What are your thoughts on that? And are there any other leads that you can think of?
off the top of my head, no. I just we've run into the Black Hand multiple times. The same assassin that came after you came after us in regards to the artifact that you mentioned, and it could come in handy. But other than those two groups, and maybe I don't know what's inciting the orcs other than just glory.
The
Food,
orcs are
maybe?
pretty rambunctious people. Yes, Master Grogok.
Oh, food maybe for the orcs. I mean, that's what got them. Maybe they're low on resources. Perhaps they're just struggling to survive. Nature is cruel.
Nature is cruel.
On a more violent side of things, they could have heard about the impending war with the elves and think that Valentus is weak and in ripe shape to attack on the borders.
I keep thinking, because Greg and I were able to disguise ourselves as shamans to the orcs and kind of halt a group of a small clan from joining the fight. So who knows what another mystical creature could have done. Randall Staggs was very resourceful.
Okay, so you suggest that we might be able to find a lead in the Badlands by investigating. You think that this activity amongst the orcs may be suspicious?
It's a very thin chance, but it's possible.
Okay. All right. Well, no, this is valuable information. We need to follow up on all leads in case, by being able to piece together the information that we have, we'll be able to put together a larger picture and understand the real threat that we're dealing with. With that being said, I think that our present course of action is, once again, you have your autonomy. Go and do what you will, and then report back to either myself and Ambrose with any updates, and then we can continue to assess and move forward from there. But I think our most direct lead right now would be is if you are willing and able, if you could make contact with the Zalaran Empire, and at least understand why we are at war, that would be of great aid to us.
They never sent a decree of war?
No, only this army that has unfailingly marched through our lands. And we cannot allow them to march any further.
I understand.
My king, before we set out, I do want to ask if there's anything else you can help us with on this journey other than your word and your passage, like something not magical, but something that would aid us in talks with the elves, or anything like that.
If you can put together a list of supplies that you will need, since we know that your mission is to the Zalaran capital, I do know that you will have to cross over the Rocktooth Mountains, through the arid lands, and then into the fertile lands of the elves further west. It's a trip of several hundred miles. So if you can put together,
That sounds like enough time for me to learn a language.
it might be. It will be a journey. So if you put together a list of things that you might need for that journey, we can expense those to the kingdom, and see what we can do there. We also do have a teleportation circle here in Valentis. I can give you the sigil if you promise to keep it safe. So that you could then, if you have access to the teleportation circle spell or some other mage who has that, then you could then freely travel back to Valentis whenever you may. We could offer you those resources.
Oh,
Thank you for asking. I was going to get to that once we had kind of decided upon a course of action. What were you going to say?
I'll take the teleportation circle diagram.
Okay. Yeah. Ambrose slides to you an envelope, and inside is a picture. Yeah, it's a sigil. It's a magic glyph that has been drawn out very meticulously.
Perfect.
Greg's got to reflect on, how he feels about working for the king. Can Greg make an insight check on the king and see if he just kind of feels like there's any ulterior motives or anything like that? He doesn't feel good about anybody who's promoting war,
Yeah. Feel free to make an insight check.
Okay. That is a nat 20 on the die plus 5.
Wow, nat 20 on the die plus 5. As you kind of look at him and analyze what could be his motives, what is does he have any ulterior motives?
Yeah, is he really out for making the world a better place, or just a better place in his image?
Gotcha. You can see that he is. You don't detect any ulterior motives from him. You feel and now that you're tuning in, you can tell that there's a very calming influence emanating from the throne itself, that allows him to be persuasive and to be and to really kind of be on point at all times in matters of decorum.
Is that cheating? Is that
Um,
cheating to do that? I mean, like.
Does that
holy
mean his real
charisma.
self is like awkward and adorable?
You like what you can
Like, he
surmise.
can't. He can't words well. So like he sits on the throne and then he sounds
what
all
you,
eloquent.
what you can surmise being a
Throne of
spellcaster
intellect.
and like really kind of like looking at that is like you're investigating him. He doesn't have any ulterior motives, but the throne itself seems to be bumping up his charisma, just to help him in his duties as a king.
Ooh. Very cool.
I has it. Can I take a throne? No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
How
Just a little
on
travel
a
throw.
scale of 1 to bag of holding, how stealable is it?
Can it fit in my nasty little pocket,
If-
sis?
It's made of marble and platinum. It
I'm
weighs
Bit of
per-
marble in my pocket.
several hundred pounds.
Bear
Probably
Greg is just
1,000.
like, perfect.
I'm pretty strong.
Combined, it'll be fine.
You're like, I count as a
Can it-
large creature for the
Yeah,
for the
can it-
purpose of
can it-
carrying.
Can it fit in my pocket dimension?
Uh,
I'm kidding. It's not a real question.
I know it's not. Maybe.
Suddenly
Depends on the size of
remembers
your
I'm a
pocket
small
dimension.
creature.
Yeah. So he's. When do you think you would want to set out?
I have an order that is going to take 3 days to be completed. That's about the only time constraint that we have. I'm not sure if we can maybe expedite that process and try to, see if we can pay a fee for that. But it seems
I mean. Sorry. Go ahead.
3 days at the latest is what I was going to say.
Well, this thing that you're waiting on, it seems like it will be of service to you in your journeys.
Yes.
And if it's important to you, it's important to me. Like I said, your autonomy is your own. I just hope that you will act in the best interest of the kingdom and help us to preserve peace and put a swift and end to this war. Those are my desires.
I suppose if we're making a list, I desire healing potions for the road, of course.
Okay. It's like Ambrose. Could you make a list so we can get these? Make sure that we get these expensed correctly. He's like, of course. So, healing potions. You guys will need to wait till the third day. Leaving in 3 days.
What are the odds the King's Armory includes some dragon scale armor?
Ooh, dragon scale armor.
Or dragon scale mail, man?
Dragon scale mailman.
Scale mailman. We do have dragon scale in the armory.
Ooh, it's very rare, so I can understand if you don't want to give it to me.
Yes, I think that might be outside of what we're able to provide for at this moment. It has significant importance to the royal family.
Fully understood, man. It was worth asking.
No, it is worth asking. The worst I can say is no. So, or off with your heads, but let's but we're friends here, so I won't do that.
Maybe some boots. Maybe give these sandals a rest. You know what I mean, man? Maybe some sort of. Do you have any magic boots?
So you're looking for an upgrade in armor?
No, maybe not armor. Just something new to wear.
He's fishing for magic items.
some kind of like cool pair of boots.
well-
Boots of elven kind.
Obviously, rations.
Why don't you go to the Emporium, and if there's anything of use there that you find, you know, we can set a budget. You know, I mean, we are at war right now, so I can give you some money from the war chest in order to, since you will be acting on behalf of the kingdom, I can give you an advance of, you know, 1,000 gold as a party that you can then use to equip yourselves.
Ooh.
Will that be acceptable?
What do you guys think, party? What does
Sounds
chat
reasonable.
think? Is that nice of the DM to offer us that? I think so. I think that's
So
Boots and cats.
Masamoon says boots and cats.
Gets. So we'll give you we'll give you the sigil. We'll give you guys are gonna leave in 3 days, and then you've got 1,000 gold that you can spend on any kind of provisions you need, whether they be healing potions, upgrades to armor, if you want to buy wagons or, you know, horses or food, whatever you feel you will need in your travels. You know, we'll just give you that, and then that you guys do what you will with it.
Sweet.
And then I know it will be several weeks, you know, months, before we hear from you again. But any updates that you find, if you could please forward them to us. He's like, and then he looks over at Ambrose, and he's like, and I believe some of your associates may be of use. And he's like, yes, he's like, as I told you before, any useful information you can provide to me, or anywhere that you see this symbol, the V with the eye on it, he's like, this represents the symbol of the vigilance. We are a community of intelligence. We're an intelligence community and circle of spies, basically, that try to maintain a balance of power among the civilized races. Information is our trade, and so this is, if you see anyone with this, you can, like, as I told you before, you may approach them and let them know that you are a friend of Ambrose, and they will treat you well, and we'll be able to forward any messages that you have to us, and you know that you can trust them. With that, are there any other questions or things that, you know, points of order that you would like to? Yeah, any questions or things that we could resolve before you finish your preparations?
No, Your Royal Highness.
Okay. Well, with that, thank you for your company. Thank you for agreeing to help me, and help all of our people, here. And I look forward to your report. I bid you a good night.
A good
I
night
bow.
to you too, my liege. And Greg just kind of like clumsily curtsies, just like stumbles over his own peg leg. It's the thought that counts.
Did you put on that backpack, Greg?
I don't think I've put it on yet.
Okay.
We have not tried it out yet. We still got to try it. We gotta
Well, yeah,
do the old test drive.
Well, you got 3 days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I made it so in mind with like how the saddle works. I imagine it like, have you seen that thing? It's that meme where it's like the halfling on the guy's back with the crossbow.
Yes.
I kind of meted it as well because I'm like, okay, Zilla could just stand on his back with that saddle. And then, I don't know how you're gonna play a rogue, but there's that.
I mean, ranged attacks, but or like when I like you like Zilla can sit on the saddle when I'm a Fearbulg, and then, you know, when combat begins, Zilla jumps out and
And
then Greg
Nasir
wild
jumps on.
shapes into some monstrous beast, and Nasir, you know, gets on and mounts the siege.
Or then when you fly, maybe when you're like a bird or something, or like tinier that I can't go on it, but just enough size so that Zilla can
Oh,
strike from
hell
the
yeah.
skies.
Air rogue.
Have you guys seen those goblin throwers? They're like
Yeah.
backpack catapults that ogres wear. And
Yeah.
they put goblins in them with spiked helmets, and they catapult the goblins into places.
All right, Angry
Oh my
Birds.
god.
Yeah,
I know
very-
eventually
it's
I'm
very
getting
Angry Birds.
tossed into a place because I'm small.
You knew what this was.
You are weirdo.
I'm little.
I am just larger than Nolan's baby.
It's true.
Yeah, 2 feet 10 inches. That's all right.
I am
That is
small with an O.
I just,
I
I just
V
forget how
small.
small
put in the
halflings are.
chat.
I always think they're like
I
3 or 4
am-
feet tall.
Small. I am small.
Holding a 9-month-old really puts it into perspective.
I bet.
Just like,
I feel like babies should be quarterlings, right? Not halflings.
yeah, that's what you think.
You're right.
So imagine
Okay.
a halfling baby.
You know that scene in Elf when like Buddy gets to be like a little kid and he's sitting on his papa's lap and his papa is like tiny but he's just
Yeah.
like the baby looks large like I'm the tiny one. Like I'm fully grown. I don't know what your problem is. You're just huge. Like
So what time of day is it, good DM?
I mean, it's like 8, 9 o'clock at night.
Okay, very good. We got 3 days to kill, kind of waiting for this armor upgrade, correct?
You do. You don't know what will happen in those 3 days, but you have 3 days.
Okay. Gruagach is... where are we sleeping again? Are we sleeping in an inn or are we sleeping at the castle?
I think we're sleeping at Ambrose
Credus. Estate.
humble mansion.
Humble
Cool,
mansion.
man.
His McMansion.
Small mansion.
I should
like a
like
half
to
of a
go
mansion.
to, one of the divier, kind of seedier bars in town and just kind of listen to see if there's, any work or any mumblings of magic. Have a
Okay.
beer.
So, I mean, yeah, you guys exit the castle. Is there anything you guys want to do before Greg, leaves the
Greg
party?
wants to smell the flowers as well at the castle. He just, wants to as he walks by.
I'm sorry, chat has completely consumed me. I'm not looking.
That was good.
Since we have yeah.
Coupling?
An eighthling,
much.
an
An
ounceling, a pintling, a
grambling?
gramling, a coupling.
Oh my
it's
gosh.
too much.
Gregling!
It's too much. Since we have 3 days, I would like to take this time to go back to the city watch or whatever I was supposed to do and just re-sign up and be available for those 3 days.
Okay, cool. Well, we'll have you go and do that. Cool. If you guys aren't gonna do any kind of group talk or anything, I just want to make sure I wasn't skipping anything before everybody kind of went about their days.
I feel like
Or
we'll
the
probably have
rest
the
of their
group
evening.
talk while we're, when we're restored and ready to kind of hit the road and,
Yeah.
Part of me wants to take on those giants. Go back and be like, all right, we have time for this now.
Yeah. No, it's okay.
Probably long gone by now, but okay.
So you're gonna go to the cedar bar and you're gonna smell some flowers, or what?
Oh, I'm gonna sniff around for some trouble. Not literal trouble, but I'm gonna sniff around for information just by sitting down and kind of listening and having an Uncle Iroh style cup of tea.
Oh, love it.
Play some Pai Shao.
Iro Lo-Fi Zen study, 10-hour study thing on YouTube.
I could listen to
I
Uncle
checked out.
Iroh
It
for
was
10 hours for sure.
Exactly. Okay. Anyway,
Yeah.
you're there for a couple of hours. You're just sipping your tea.
Perception
listening. Yes.
Okay,
Please roll me 3 of them.
3 of them. All right, first one is a 17.
'Kay.
Second one is a 13.
'Kay.
And last one is a 21.
Okay. In the seedier bars, you hear a lot of people criticizing the king. They're like this war.
Interesting.
They're like this war is stupid. And so some people are like how can we be at war? We're one of the most powerful nations in the world. Why are we doing this? And then you see somebody else go, I can't believe we let them get this far. We look weak. If we are going to be one of the most powerful nations in the world, how come we haven't pushed them out yet? We should eliminate all the elves right now. I can't believe they're still here.
racist.
Yeah. So I mean, just tensions are high. You know, you can't win. Like everybody's got an opinion.
Yeah.
But
None of them
everybody's
seem too happy about it.
But yeah, I mean, nobody's like happy about a war, right?
Yeah.
Except for the guy that you heard in the second hour, uh, who is making. He just seems to be trying to make deals, right? It's like, hey, you know, if those elves do break into the capital, you're going to need the right weapons. So, you know, make sure, you know, are you prepared?
Are you a bad enough dude to rescue the president?
It's 10 o'clock. Do you know where your children are?
Wait.
Sorry.
I was reading chat. Exactly. So yeah. So he's like, if not, you know, follow me. I've got some stuff out back. I can get you at a good price. And so these guys follow him out back, and they leave the bar.
They just got fleeced, I bet you.
Yeah. If you don't, yeah, you don't know if you don't follow them. And then on the third hour, you can tell like it's people are just getting raucous. They're getting there's a lot of gambling and even like a pit fight going on in the back where people are brawling. So you can bet on some brawling and stuff of that nature.
Okay. On the
and-
second hour, I think Greg is going to quietly kind of slip out after he sees the gentleman walk out back to talk arms deals.
Okay.
And as Greg is, you know, obviously he's following, you know, far enough away that he's not all that visible. And he is going to use his hidden step to turn invisible.
Oh, okay. So now,
Like when
So-
nobody's watching, as he kind
Yep.
of like walks down, like I envision him like walking down like a bathroom hallway or something, and then shoo, just kind of fizzles into nothing, and like you hear like sneaking
absolutely.
music. You know what I mean?
So here's a fun thing that so invisibility, right? Like obviously you're invisible, you can't be seen.
Yep.
But that doesn't necessarily mean that people don't know where you are.
Yeah.
This is just something that I geek out about as a rules lawyer. So invisibility allows you to take the hide action automatically because you've broken line of sight.
Uh-huh.
So basically, if you want them to not know you're there, I need you to make take the hide action.
Okay, we're taking the
or-
hide action.
Perfect. So that's just a stealth check.
Yep. Okay. Not so good at those, but I'm going to use my one of my inspirations to roll that with advantage. Get some information, and I'm glad that we did because we got a nat 20.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Okay. So yeah, they don't see you, and they don't know you're there because you're creeping, and they don't hear you as well.
Great.
Um,
Should I try and overhear what they're saying? You can come
Yeah.
back to me if you'd like to go to someone else's story for a bit, but might as
No,
well
it's okay.
finish what we started. All right,
Yeah.
rolling perception. Ooh, that's a zesty 25 on perception.
Ooh, zesty.
yeah, you can see that he takes him to a wagon out back, and then he opens up the back end, and he's got like a bunch of like swords and bows and arrows. He's just kind of selling people like prepper kits on like how to like you got to be able to defend yourself, and he's got like iron knuckles and like brass knuckles and all like just different kinds of weapons. It all looks like stuff that has been looted from other places if it's in varying
Ooh.
degrees of quality. So this is not like fresh gear.
Questionably sourced.
Questionably sourced. Yes.
Can I make out like any? Can I make out if anyone's like buying a large batch of weapons to go to any one place? Just kind of any information that might give us some leads for either work in the next few days or which factions to ally with in the coming combat.
Yeah, gotcha. So looks like these are just two scrubs
Okay.
from they're just patrons of this bar, and this guy is it seems like he makes his rounds to the different seedier bars in town, and he's just a vendor basically. And this is how he's making his approach. But
Out of a morbid curiosity, Greg wants to stay hidden and listen to see if this dude fleeces them.
if he fleeces them.
Yeah.
I mean, he barters and stuff, but he actually one of them does end up buying one of the buying like a sword, and kind of swinging it around, and he likes it, and the other one is like, nah, that's not for me. Um, but he doesn't like attack them or try to steal anything from them. He's just
Okay.
a shady vendor.
Got it. Love it.
Great,
Cool.
good,
That's great.
awesome. I love you asking questions and
Yeah, just trying to gather information.
Yeah.
Enjoy a cuppa.
enjoy a cup of tea. Don't spill the tea. Okay. All right, Blixa, what were you gonna do? You were gonna go to the civilian. It's late at night now, but they're open 24/7. Well, they close at 10. So you get there, you're able to sign up. They're like, well, you were a no call no show. Like, are you actually gonna show up tomorrow?
Yes, I'm available for 3 days.
3 days, or do you want to?
So
be
I
on the
can I
civilian
can be
militia?
available. I can be available for 2 of those days. 2 of the 3 days.
Okay, so what shifts? I mean, we do a 6 a.m. to noon and a noon to 6 p.m. What shifts are you interested in?
The 6 a.m. to noon, early morning.
Okay, tomorrow or the day after, or both?
Both.
Okay, we will put you down, and we look forward to seeing you here.
Thank you.
No, thank you. We really appreciate your civil service, and we promise to pay you accordingly. All right. Anybody else want to do anything with the rest of their downtime?
For today or for the next 2-3 days?
Oh, like for the rest of today.
Okay.
What time is it? Like 9 p.m. or something?
Yeah.
All right. I'm like, I don't know why I chose the thief rogue, but like, I'm so nervous. But like, I want to steal something.
Okay.
I don't want to steal anything right now. I want to go to I want to like walk around the street and like find a house and pick a spot that's like inconspicuous and just kind of watch and see who comes and goes.
Okay.
Kind of see when the lights kind of turn off, and if I get back to the Ambrose's place late, I get back late, but I just kind of see like.
Are you looking for any kind of street in particular, or are you looking for like?
I want to see. Actually, I want to walk around and look at people and see who I want to steal from, and I'm just gonna follow them home, but I don't want it to be conspicuous that I'm stalking them.
Okay.
I
So-
guess so. Somebody
yeah, so-
in very nice dress robes that like.
So you're looking for a rich person to steal from.
Yeah.
Okay. You've just exited the castle. You do see other kind of nobles who have had business either at the castle or in the area. There are this is where they're at. You're pretty close to the noble district, so you see them kind of passing by. Some of them in their carriages, some of them on their, they're on foot, but some of them have guards but you do see.
I want one without guards.
You want one without guards? Okay.
Yep.
You do see one. He's like a younger. He looks like he's the son of a noble, and he's out with his friends. But then you do see kind of another like loner, who's like the daughter of a noble, and she looks like she's kind of snuck out from her house.
Okay.
Now, do any of those marks interest you?
The
Proceeds to steal a glance. Says Masamune.
I'm trying to. I haven't really done like I've done this part in my head before, but I haven't really like done this in game before. So I'm trying to figure out what it is that I want here. I guess follow the boys, the girl. I mean, the guy that looks like
The
he's
guy
out
and
with
his friends?
or whatever. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, there you see one guy and his three friends, and they're all excited. They're all like, they've pre-gamed a little bit, and now they're going out to some of the fancier inns and taverns. And one guy's like, "Hey, you gonna fight tonight? You gonna?" So, are you gonna sneak up on him now?
Yeah, just kind of.
Okay.
I as in my mind, I'm just like, I'm not even following them. I'm just in the area. I'm not, like.
Yeah, you're just walking,
Like-
and there are a lot of halflings here, and your guys are kind of hard to notice anyway, especially you, because you're all in black and you're just
Yeah.
naturally furtive.
I have a +10 to my stealth, so like,
Exactly.
I can just say you never saw me, and then they just never saw me.
All right. So, what's your, yeah, roll a stealth check.
Okay. I rolled really low actually. Wow. I 12.
Okay.
That was a 2 on the dice.
He actually rolled a 13. So you're walking behind him, following him, like, oh, like I'm just here, minding my own business, and
Mhm.
and like you see one of the friends like look over and like, oh yeah, you're gonna fight tonight? Like I dare you to fight that. You couldn't even take that halfling over there, and just like they just like notice you and like they're like they don't suspect you of anything. They just happen to talk about you. They're like, oh, I could totally take that halfling. I could take anybody. Come on, let's put money on it. Let's go fight.
I give one of those. Just like, just a little laugh. It's like, when you're at the store and somebody starts like talking and they say something funny and you overhear it and you're just like, like can't help it. Like that's kind of the reaction that I have.
Are you gonna continue following them and try to be sneakier, or are you gonna abort this mark?
I'm going to abort because they've already spotted me.
Okay.
But I do want to change my tactics a little bit and try to go with my original idea of like being in the noble district and finding like a house and
Okay. All right, yeah, you see some other nobles. I mean, it is starting to get late. Like the streets are starting to kind of wrap up. So here, roll. Let me roll to see if there are any more nobles around. Okay. It's getting pretty late. A lot of people are starting to go in for the evening. But you do see kind of one noble wander out of a bar, kind of drunk.
Okay.
And he's like walking, like he's waddling his way home.
Okay.
Like, oh, I'm gonna hear it tonight.
I'm gonna follow him.
Okay. Yeah. Roll your stealth check.
Okay. Wow. 15.
Okay. He rolled a 1.
Oh, great. Lovely.
So yeah, you are the knight.
I am
what-
the knight.
What do you do to this guy?
I'm just gonna tail him home, and then what I'm looking for is basically I'm gonna look for like signs of other life in his house before he walks in, see if like the lights are already on or whatever, and then like if maybe peer in his windows or something after he gets in. Just to like try to count how many people might be in the house, and then I'm gonna wait until it gets dark and people might be like asleep.
Okay. Yeah, you see him wandering the house. Sure enough, he gets it. His lady lays into him. She's like, "You're out drinking again, Fred? Like, I swear, if I'd have known what kind of man you were, I never would have married you. You're drinking away my inheritance. How dare you get my money?" So they get in a fight.
Inheritance, she
and then-
says.
Yeah, and he's like, "I can do what I want, and you don't tell me what to do. And I need to go to the bathroom and go to bed. And we can talk about it in the morning." And then, so yeah, they have a squabble, and then you hear like 2 kids upstairs, like like you see like other lights and like shadows of kids like on their beds, like being like, "Oh, mom and dad are yelling again," and like one of them kind of consoling the other one. So you can detect there are probably 4 people in the house.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Let me see if there is. Yeah, I'm just gonna wait outside until like the lights turn off.
Okay, yeah, the lights go off, you know, and
All right.
in like 20 minutes after waiting like 20 minutes.
Yeah. I'm probably gonna wait just like what I think is like an hour, just because like I want to make sure that everybody's like asleep. You know
Cool,
what I
yeah.
mean?
Yes, you're gonna. Yeah,
Um,
they fall asleep. The night is yours.
I am the knight, so
are
I'm
the
going
knight.
to. I'm gonna pick the lock and break into their house.
Okay,
But I'm gonna see if there's like a back door or something, so I don't.
Okay. I don't want this to take up the rest of the time, so we're just.
Oh,
Gonna
I'm
roll.
so sorry.
No, you're good. I love encouraging new stuff.
I
I
didn't
just
know what time it was.
no, it's okay. I just don't want to like do like a whole dungeon for just you.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna roll 3 stealth checks.
Okay.
Like what? Like first of all, tell me what are you trying? Like what things of value are you looking for? Like
I'm
just
looking
looking
for. I'm looking for jewelry.
you're looking for jewelry specifically. Okay.
Well, I mean, like if I see like, purse laying around, steal
Okay.
any gold that I find in there or whatever. But
So you're just looking for anything like of value, right?
yeah.
Okay. So make a perception check to see what you find.
Okay. I'm going to use one of my inspiration points.
Steal that
Okay.
woman's heart and take that inheritance righteously. Rooster says.
That's the best.
I believe it.
Wow, I rolled with inspiration and I rolled really low. I rolled a 11.
An 11. Okay. So looks like she doesn't have much of an inheritance. There also is a bank in town, which I forgot to tell you guys about. So like, if you need to exchange coins and that kind of thing, and so a lot of people's like wealth is actually stored in the bank, and then they have accounts just like that. But you do see like on like she does have kind of a. What are those fancy? Is it a boudoir or whatever? Like the fancy desk that they have in olden times, like the mirror where like the
A
women, like-
vanity.
a vanity? Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
She has a vanity. And
Powder
on that-
Oh,
nose.
do you want me to roll those stealth checks?
yes, roll 2 stealth checks.
Okay.
And
Wanna get in
Zilla's
the
just
house.
sitting there going, I'm stealing from nobles when I could be at the bank.
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
Suspicious.
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
Uh,
Don't be suspicious.
I rolled a 19 and a 13.
19 and 13. Okay. You're able to successfully get in the house, but you make a small, like the
Like-
door's a little noisy. Yeah. But once you're inside, like they don't hear you.
Okay, cool.
You find a pearl necklace worth about 20 gold pieces in her vanity. Make a this is a sleight of hand check.
Okay. Oh, sleight of hand. Okay. Yes. 17.
Okay. You're able to successfully open it, grab the pearl necklace, and I need one more stealth check to get out.
Okay. I'm gonna use my other inspiration point. All right. Oh, I rolled 2 10s, so 20.
Okay. All right. Yeah, you successfully got out, and you now used your permanent inspiration point, haven't you?
I have, but because I wanted to use it.
Yeah. No. Awesome. I'm glad it came in. Glad it came in handy. All right. So yeah, you are the knight. You totally got in, got that woman's pearl necklace, and
I didn't want to like clean him out house and home. I just wanted to steal some,
Yeah.
a thing or two that was valuable.
just another donation for the chillins.
Yeah.
All
So
right.
yeah, I take that and then I go back to the home of Ambrose Cadu and be like, the weather was lovely for a walk this evening, and I go up to my bed.
Okay. What are the? Make a perception check.
Me?
Yeah, you.
Oh, okay. What do I perceive? I don't perceive. Gosh, I'm rolling low. 7.
Okay. You feel that you've you're being watched.
I feel I'm being watched.
Yeah, you just kind of feel like just that you don't know where, you don't know how.
On my way back, or like when I get in the house.
Like you don't know how long it's been, but you just kind of notice like
Yeah,
your
but like
hackles-
I'm a thief and I have that feeling.
yeah, like your spider senses are tingling like as you get closer. You don't know how long it's been, but you just feel that you've been seen.
Well, that's unsettling. But thank you for that.
You're very welcome. All right, did anybody else want to do anything before we tucked in for the night?
I was just gonna kind of meditate with and try to connect with my armor and my glaive.
As you are meditating, you have not seen Riom all day, right? And by the way, once you got that curse removed, like Yakul's fur returned to like its natural red sheen. And so as you're meditating and trying to connect with your armor and with your glaive, first of all, you recognize that your armor is like does have a magical essence to it. And right now you can tell that it is extremely resistant to damage. So it like you just basically like magic items, like normal items require like some maintenance and upkeep. Yours seems to upkeep itself, and it's very hard to actually like destroy your armor. Just like regular magical items have like resistance to damage. Yours has resistance to like wear and tear type of damage, but it doesn't give you resistance to like combat damage.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say. But you see Riom reappear, and he jumps out of your chest, and then he sits on the bed, and he stands like majestically, you know, like when like I don't know, like sometimes my cats just stand there, like you look just so majestic, and like I feel like he knows it, and that's how Riom is sitting. He's sitting there majestically, and he looks at you. And then he does and then he bows his head, and he comes and gives you like a little headbutt, and in that headbutt, you feel a message is sent to you. He had cast the spell message. You hear Enoch's voice. He says, "My son, it is finally time for you to take the next path in your journey. Return to Haven as soon as possible. Riom will show you the way." And that is where we're going to end it.
Ba-ba-ba-bum.
Ba-ba-ba-ba.
Okay. Awesome session,
Regally.
Chilo.
Thank you.
Well, very cool. So, if that's where we're ending it tonight, let me get that raid up and running. But I wanted to give a huge shout out to a couple friends today. Thank you, Blixa Gaming, for subbing for 3 months. Mr. Treebeard subbing for 2 months. Lord Withrow, thank you for the follow. Treebeard, we see that name generator for that other treant. I'll send that over to Chillo. Brieflower, thank you for the gifted sub. Senavar, thank you for the follow. Hellcat, thank you for the sub. And Brieflower, thank you for the sub. Brieflower for 3, Hellcat for 2. And then NA Sacred, thank you for the follow as well. Let's go ahead and raid. Huge shout out to all the players and all the friends. But
Real quick, I just want to say thank you to all of you for watching our show and being here with us on this journey. Really excited to have you all here. Keep you guys make this so much fun.
It's about to get real.
So let's go raid.
yeah, so Lady of Mayhem raided us a few weeks ago, and we're gonna go show her some love. She's playing some Call of Duty Black Ops, so show her some love from F&D and spam those emotes. Let's go!
Black Ops, that's a blast from the past.
It's the new one.
The Cold War?
Yeah.
What do the numbers mean?
Whoa, Mason.
And I will say, oh,